great job from the team, and thank you to everybody for doing that. All right, decent trades today. We're all over this, man. It's a monster here. We're ending the show at our day's high for myself right now. There goes Palantir. Palantir joins the club again, not that one. It joins the dollar club right there as Palantir getting back to the upside there off of 144.30s, 143.50s, which was our mark there. So you're welcome, Tia. You're welcome, everybody else out there as well. Now it's time to go over to the Bro Show, and Sharif, Joe, they're ready to go. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ooh.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful freaking people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there to my left is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. Big Spile, you're gonna get blocked, bro. You're walking that fine line, Big Spile. All right, baby. What do we got here? We got Enemy, Atom, we got Max, Andrew Chow, we got Uplift Markets, I like that. Shout out to Stuart and Lo-Fi Soul, Northwest Sasquatch and Omar, Sweeping LH, Mateus Lane. Who else we got? We got KK14M, whatever the hell that means. We got Andrew, Small Trader Nick, Mark Susi, we got Egg, Hossman, Brendo? Brandon Guarduno. Okay, I saw that. I mixed the names together. We got Eric. How about Common Sense and Why Not? Zion freaking Lala. Jose Perez. Christopher Blackman. Who else we got, man? Andrew Mitch. Chris, something or another. Kirk D. Oliver. Mix. Persianality, I like that. Mix and personality, whatever. Brent Roth, Blue Arrow YV. What else we got over here? Unlimited Potential. Shout out to Dax Ryan. Shout out to Trejo. We got Narish G. 70s Mustang and Conrad Clark. You're my guy. Shout out to you, my man. Your mom's stonk broker. Kirk D. One more, Joseph. Desi Junction. Shout out to Desi Junction. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Started off the morning for us anyway a little bit shaky and rocky as we had some production issues with the loss of power for the entire building yesterday. Had everything restarting and going crazy.
Too much
Everything's
AC
good now, though.
Too much AC being pumped.
Okay, so it's not Joey Options. Can we restart the show?
Yeah.
Because I need to introduce him as Joey Shivers. Because my man is cold all the time.
Yeah, man.
And I told him, like, he would not be a happy camper at my place because I run my place. All right, Assassino. I like it. Boom! What is good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy Joey Shivers, and I'm Sharif. We're just joking around. We're having a good time. Nathaniel, thank you very much, my man, for the $2 super chat. He's already dropping cash in the chat. I'm just teasing you, man. How is everything going? Everything good?
Yeah. I mean, with the swing, we're locking in some cash on the swing trades, guys. Go check your boy out at Trader TV, Joseph. We posted that up, what we got cooking with the swings. But yeah, intraday, been chilling. To be honest with you, slightly tired, so I took it easy this morning. I'm glad that Katina and Neil are crushing it. But I got aggressive here on IBIT, so that's really the only trade that I put any significant size on here today, and it didn't work out just yet. 108, I did have some resistance pointed out there, and we knocked right on that door, and then it didn't open up. But let's send it off to Adara.
Oh.
Keep an eye here on EH. I think you might like this for a couple different reasons, Sharif. This is EHang. It is a more kind of a small cap runner type play, currently breaking into today's highs, and it has an eVTOL related catalyst. They debuted their first pilotless eVTOL. Apparently that's completed their debut with human carrying flights in Indonesia. I guess as per a press conference or press release, from the company. So keep an eye on EH. Chair Powell is still talking. I am still listening to this conference. They said they have a hard out, I'm assuming at 1 p.m., but if I have any more details, I'll let you guys know. Keep an eye here as well at 1 p.m. today for that 5-year note auction. Back to you.
Good.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. Yeah, guys, all right, so there it is. Go check your boy out. Swing Alert, as I was taking that one from our guy over there at Trade the Pool, Mitch. So yeah, nice little Swing Alert positions, everything like that. It's a couple contracts, nothing crazy. Small starter positions, everything along those lines. So there you go. We're cooking up at Trader TV. Joseph, go check that out. We're gonna lock in some of that profit probably by the end of the day there, guys, and just get ready to roll on the weekend. It is Canada Day this weekend, so yeah, the festivities are most definitely going to be coming in. And then the following weekend, you guys have the 4th of July, and there we go. We get an extended one there too. So yeah, some fun stuff going on here. Let's see what we can continue to cook up in Bitcoin. I'm not going to abandon this thesis just yet, but it is unfortunate that we have rejected 108. I'm going to be looking for the break of that eventually, and you can see from my swing position, I have 65 calls. And to be honest with you, I usually don't buy out of the money, and there's a reason being, right? So when you're buying out of the money, you have to have a specific game plan, and you have to understand how it's structured, right? So if you're buying out of the money, you essentially want the thesis to work quick, because the objective is to gain not only extrinsic value, but you eventually want to gain the intrinsic value as well too. But in order to obtain the extrinsic value, the time value that is you want that to work, and day by day, even though it's further expiration, the longer it takes to get to at the money, the less profit you will make from the extrinsic value, all right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Options premiums are derived from a couple of things: volatility, time, and moneyness, all right? So keep that into consideration. And right now, it's not looking too good, but anything can happen, Sharif. We'll be prepared to execute when we need to, but right now, Bitcoin's starting to head towards that low of the structure low, I should say.
All right, man. Let's see what we got over here. Just typing in the ticker. Is this on the New York? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, new position. We're in SWIN. Look, the pickings are slim today. It feels like in small cap gapper world. There are a few that are running quite aggressively. We're going to keep an eye on them, but I'm not involved in them right now. The first and the foremost that's running quite aggressively, NKTR. Oh, baby. This one is up big 36%, 37%, and it's like $5, $4 off the high. 37, 38 the high of the day, coming into the 10 exponential moving average. This could be an interesting entry here on NKTR. Let's give this one. I don't want to trade these really expensive ones because they tend to be quite bamboozling, but we're going to give this one the old community college try. Let's see if it wants to hold up at the 10 exponential. I'm just keeping my eye on it quickly to see if we can weasel in over here at a good price. So let's see what this one does. 10 EMA. I'm going long. Let's give this one the old college try. Let's see if we can get filled at a reasonable price. If we do, we're going to have to give this one to about 32.47. We're going to go 32.47, and then we're going to go all the way down for that. So we got 33.61 on. Let's see if we can get something at around, mid or high 33s. We'll put that there. We'll also put another one maybe at 34.25 or so. Let's see if this one wants to hold. Otherwise, we're going to get out of Dodge super quick on this one. We already got stopped out as it lost to 10 exponential. So we'll give back a little bit there. We'll start the day off a little bit red. Let's see what this one does at 32. 32 is the volume weighted average price. See what it does there. I'm going to wait for it at around there. So we're going to go 32.05 for a possible buy at around the volume weighted average price. Back in my patience on that one. So we'll start 0 for 1, but it by no means will hopefully not dictate my day. So that's what I'm looking at right there. Oh, that's NKTR. I already had that one. I don't know why I have it on two screens. So SWIN, the other one I'm involved in. This one is a retracement into the volume weighted average price. Let's see if this one holds. We got 32s on at the moment, and it's not giving me any prints to the high side quite yet, showing me 34s. Back to NKTR, popping back up. So it might be one of those money fills that we've been talking about where it breaches the 10, only for the money fill to be between the 10 and the 20 exponential. I don't want to chase this. I've already put a dip trade for that $32 level, but it's not quite making its way down there. So 32.60, there seems to be a buyer here and has been for a little while at 32.60, a hidden buyer because you're seeing nothing posted on the gateway. It looks like he just lost there as it dips right back down into 50. So NKTR also in focus today. Poet, the other one. Where's my Poet screen? I think I took off this one. No, POET. So Poet is the other one. Got a good looking chart under it. It's at about 13%, give or take. It's got a double bottom now off the 10 EMA at around 4 low 80s, 483, something like that. I see support for this one at around 4 3/4. So I think I'm just going to pack my patience for that one, Joseph. What do you got over there, man?
Yeah. We're back into some IBIT here, guys, off of these lows. Maybe we can get that move back towards the volume weighted average price. The market is starting to pull back to south of VWAP here now. A choppy mess to start the day, but what a monster move with NVDA and Google. So yeah, some good looks there in some of these big tech names. Tesla just extremely weak here, guys, but I was referring earlier in the week too. It was extremely important for us to see where that open interest through 150 or 145 was going to lay, right? So we had that concentration of open contracts, and then now it was lifted, and then when we go through these strikes, we've seen that it was increased through the specific strike prices, 147 and 155, and that's telling me, yeah, 155 is definitely in the works, maybe by the end of the week, but definitely by next week as well, too, and that's going to put an NVDA at all-time highs. So that's what we got going on. We're looking at those two. My guy Robinhood traded up to $86 almost today. Like, what an absolute monster of a stock. I'm so happy that I rotated out of Tesla into Robinhood. So that was a monstrous play there too. But let's see what we can cook up in Bitcoin here, guys. Excuse me. I'm pretty aggressive right now. I'm looking to get even more aggressive, to be honest with you. But the thing is, though, I don't want to counter this market. We do have a downtrend that we need to keep in mind. And if we don't crack this, then we might be in a little bit of trouble. And we just have to play what the technicals are telling us. So if we have the inability to breach the 6125, and that's going to correlate with VWAP there, then we have to suspect that, yeah, okay, there's no further demand higher here. So we're going to sell off a little bit more aggressively, or a party can be a little bit more dominant. And then you can see that choppiness price action. Eventually, the volume will step in. And then maybe you start to tank. But one thing to note, guys, always keep an eye on your volume profile. That is going to be extremely important, and it's going to tell you worlds about what's going to possibly happen with your trade. So just keep that in mind. IBIT need to crack that downtrend. As soon as we have the ability to sit on top, watch out. Alexis on fire for those who know
I like that. I like that. Get the people riled up, baby.
Yeah. You like Alexis on fire?
I have no idea what it is.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's the deal. We're involved back in NKTR, Joseph, at 77s. We're about to hit the dollar club. Not quite yet. Show me 49s. There's a seller at 49. It took a bit of a bigger position here because this is a VWAP retracement, not a 10 EMA retracement. So we've taken out, I think, half the position so far into 3250. Long 3277, wet the beak at 3250. The next level, 3375, and then we'll put another one there at 3405 for a possible move there. Here we go with the $0.50 again. Again, a seller steps in at 49. Hidden seller, we take him out. We don't cross on the bid, we cross on the ask. So we're not exactly popping up as aggressively as I would like. So here's the deal. I'm moving my stop to break even now. So watch this for the break of that 60 penny area. So we're going to give this one a bit of room. So we'll go 32.59. So it'll be just basically give or take about the $1 or break even. So that's what I'm looking at there. I'm also involved in another trade that I barely mentioned anything about. This one is a very spready, so it's tough to trade. I know, but it's tough to trade. SWIN, show me 30s on the bid, 36 on the ask. We've got a bunch of prints to the high side there, but as you can see, crossed 2 of my orders and it didn't print 2 of them. That's because of the spread. So we get a little bit out, and here it pops back up into 38 again. So we'll see if this one ends up giving us something. Back to NKTR as this one continues to dance with that $33 level, not exactly breaking down below it, but not exactly clearing it either. So here we go, back up to 40s. Can we get some continuity? Possibly into 34, maybe into 35. So packing my patience with this one. We still got about half the position on. Started 0 for 1 on this one, but we made some money back. Still, as I look at it, still a little bit negative on this. So hopefully we'll make some more as this one pops up, Joe.
Yeah, good luck there, guys. And I had this suspicion as well, too. It typically happens, right? As soon as you get that all-time high breach, you tend to sell off a little bit there, profit taking. But we breached the Qs here at 543.94, and then now we're starting to come back in. So I kind of expected that, but that's okay. Maybe we can continue later on in the day, but a nice healthy pullback. Let's see if NVDA can hold VWAP. I know Google's holding up there relatively well, but the likes of Amazon isn't looking too good, and nor is Microsoft as it's trading below the volume weighted average price. So maybe like a bull flag was pattern here was starting to form, but then you can see that it failed. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to pull this up for you guys.
Pull it.
Yeah, there you go, pull up. And so there you go. You can see that it failed there. So a lot of choppy overlapping candles here. And for me, that's, you guys, I tell you all the time, breakout trader, that's not where my style lays. I mean, you can build a playbook around selling the highs and buying the lows. I think that's a pretty good idea, but you can see Microsoft dragging the market down with it here. And same with Amazon, but let's go NVDA, let's go Google. You two can hold it up. I like that oversold bounce in Google, and that's why I decided to swing some of these shares.
Swing it, baby.
Swing it, yeah, swing alert, swing alert. So there we go. Shout out Mitch. I don't know if he's watching, but there we go. That's what we got going on with that one. Show them what you got, Sharif. Ooh, you're not. You're in it.
Past the club, my boy. We're $1.50 now on NKTR.
Get it, Sharif.
Thank you, Adara. I appreciate this one. This one is spready, Adara. I don't know if you want to take a gander at NKTR. Like, it's not the prohibitive spreads that you like, Adara, but you know, it's got some stuff going on for it. So NKTR, we're long 32.77. We just got printed at 34.05. Now my next profit taker is going to be in the $2 club, baby. So we're going to wait for that area to clear. We're looking for that 34.5 area to get cleared by my friend NKTR. Sad that I started 0 for 1 on this, took a bit of a hit, right? And then so we have to work back from that hit, but you know, should have been patient more for the volume weighted average price rather than trying to pick it up off the 10 exponential, which, you know, has worked for other ones. So keeping an eye here. Here we go. 37s, Joseph. We're getting awfully close to taking out that beak wetter there that we got north of the $0.50. So seller here at 37s. Looks like he's getting cleared. Can we weasel up to 40s? We weasel up to 40s. Boom! We're going to hit the $2 club. Boom! All right, very happy with how this trade is going right now. NKTR, we're back to positive on this one after taking a bit of a negative hit there, so we'll keep an eye on NKTR, baby. This one is running. It's giving you dollars at a time, but as quickly as it gives you dollars, you saw what happened to me on that first trade, as quickly as it can take, trade it carefully, set stops, and execute your plan. Excellent post, by the way, Ram, for following your plan and stuff like that on social media yesterday. If you guys haven't checked it out, she put a fantastic post.
Put it in the chat, she said.
Can you put it in the chat? I'm trading.
Put it in the chat, man.
I appreciate you there. So yeah, that's the look right now. So what I was trying to say is Ramin put something on her social media accounts, on TikTok, on Instagram. It talks about the psychological aspect of trading, sticking to your plan, this, that, and the other. I think it's fantastic. If you're a newer trader and you're looking for those guidelines off which to work, I think it's a fantastic one. So shout out to Ram, and thank you for putting that on there. Joseph Wilson.
Yeah, I'm going to probably cut this IBIT trade here momentarily. I think it's going to be weak. Keep rejecting that downtrend. So yeah, that's it. This is going to be my final stab on this name before I risk quite a bit on these two trades. So yeah, we'll look for something else. Tesla was curling over. Took a look at that this morning, but then with those numbers, it's like yeah, we
no
don't.
Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy. Yeah, we don't like that one. We don't like Tesla. So I'm so happy to have rotated out of that piece of garbage. Yeah.
Tell them how you feel, Joe.
Yeah, I am telling them really how I feel on Tesla. That's the thing. I mean, it will eventually start to climb higher, but the ebbs and flows of this name, it definitely comes with this name, I should say, right? So I thought we were on this move, especially after this big engulfing candle right here. I'm like, all right, yeah, now we can go on that move to break that 368 level. Nope, no sir. It has other plans, but I mean that uptrend is still intact off of these Liberation Day lows. So keep that in mind.
What happened?
All right, guys,
What happened to Dara?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you, it's getting pretty heated here in this Fed Chair Powell testimony. This isn't supermarket related, but I will mention it because it's not political, I'll tell you that. So basically what happened here is right now, so I'm red-faced because I was very shocked by this occurrence. So what happened was there was some commentary here about why what I guess Powell is and is not comfortable talking about, right? And so I guess he's commented on student loans, but not on car loans. And then this other individual, senator, and I'm sorry for sharing that with you guys.
I like it. Thank you for that. Yeah, look, man, we're gonna talk about the stuff that's adjacent to trading, and obviously that has a lot to do with politics these days now that Donald Trump's in office. So thank you for that information, Adara, and feel free to bring us any more interesting tidbits. I happen to really like them. Joseph, what do you got over there, my man?
Yeah, we got all out of this IBIT trade, guys, so that downtrend holding up, and then now we're starting to head a little bit lower here. So yeah, that's it for me on this name. Not going to take any more stabs at it. It can do what it wants. It can either go higher or continue to move lower. So we'll just look for something else. Google is strong. Kicking myself for missing out on this trade as well too, guys. So yeah, this really, I was watching and I'm like, oh, all right, let me try to get the lower end of this range. And then I took my eyes off the screen for a couple of minutes and then boom, 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 you get that move a couple points higher. So all the way from 69 all the way up to just under 72 there. So yeah, really good look in Google off of that oversold bounce. I like this name right now. I think I'm gonna close that swing momentarily because obviously, you guys know with shares, it obviously chews up a lot of capital. And for me, there's a thesis that I had built on NVDA, and I'm frustrated that I didn't execute on it. So again, we was trading around $142. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's see if we can get that move towards the all-time high. Waited for those contracts to lift through 145, and then I just didn't pull the trigger on that one. So yeah, it is what it is on that front. So we'll just have to find another trade. There's always going to be more, right? So it gets frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's just like tell yourself, as Katina Man would say. Don't worry, don't panic, don't hit the oh, I missed the FOMO button or anything along those lines. Just be patient, have that cash on the sideline, and then look to buy any dip or look for your specific setup, that is. But right now, I'm going to be sitting on my hands momentarily, waiting for that A++ setup, and then I'm going to look to absolutely hammer it with some size there, guys.
All right, man, we're still holding SWIN, so even though we're done NKTR, SWIN continues to feel very flat top breakish. So the high of the day is technically 348. But let me bring in the side charts over here and make my case for why I think it's 340. So 340, we've had how many? First of all, we haven't closed above 340 on any 5-minute candle. Take your pick. Nothing has closed above that level. Second of all, look at all these opening and closing prints right at that 340 level. So to me, this is yelling there is a short seller or a profit taker who really is obsessed with this 340 level. How obsessed they are and how much conviction they have on that 340 level will show shortly, because it feels like that they may get shaken out. And the reason I feel that way is we got umpteen amount of higher lows all into that 340 level. So I feel it might be just a matter of time. Now, there may be some, yin and yang, some bamboozlement to the downside on the way for that 340 break, but I do feel that we are poised for a 340 break on SWIN. I got more shares in this one than I did in NKTR, so we'll be able to take more prints. I've taken out, I want to say, about half the position so far on the move into 340, and it's showing me 340 again here with a bottoming tail candle. And the last 4 candles have been higher lows, all with that 340 area top. So packing my patience on this one. I've set up at 43, 45, and then 48 for some beak wetters there. We'll see if this one ends up paying. If at all. See, again, rejects 340, show me 39 on the bid, 33 on the ask. I'm going to pack my patience. Now, the question I have to ask myself is here, if I've got that level of conviction on that 340 break and take, and I've taken out half the position, well, then does it behoove me to add at the volume weighted average price if this one is to dip? Currently, the volume weighted average price is a little bit above that 3.25 area. I want to say 326. So here's the deal. I'm just going to do it so that I get in the habit of doing these things, because I typically don't. Oh, this one's really selling off here. Hold on. Let's, yeah, well, I'm going to get in. So I'm going to throw that at 326 there. Let's see if it fills. It doesn't fill, true to form, because this one is a little bit spready. So we'll keep tabs on that one. I'm also keeping tabs on VYNE, another one that's up 30 some odd percent. It's got a seller here at $1.45. It looks here on a quick analysis that it has a lot of respect for that 10 EMA on the 5. That green line seems to be finding support on every little dip into that level. So it's a $1.45 high, much like SWIN. But this one seems to have a bit of a tighter spread than its uglier cousin, SWIN. So VYNE, the other ticker over here, not a bad look. It's done, how many shares? Not even that many, 2.8 million shares on the day. It feels like the pickings are slim, man, with some of these ones. Poet, I mentioned, is a good one. Another very, very respectful retracement off the 10 EMA. It did breach it on the retracement in the VWAP at around 1020. It had a 3-candle hold up all at the volume weighted average price, and then it made that new high into 596, comes back in here again, dips into the 10 EMA at 483, and then popping back up. Still not the high of the day, 496 though. So there's some stuff, but it's not the best in the business, certainly. So if you guys see anything that's making moves here that I don't have on my side chart that's really it's taking out levels, please tag myself or Joseph, and we'll have a look at it for you. I'm just scanning my top chart there to make sure that nothing has weaseled its way onto the scene since I last did the check, and I don't see anything quite yet. So displeased, very displeased right now, the fact that I didn't get that ad on SWIN because of the spread. I tried to, actually, I gave it 3 pennies. It was at 323. I punched 326. It still didn't fill. So that's my problem, not yours. So we'll keep tabs on this one. Joseph, anything you got at your end, my man?
Yeah. I'm just taking a look at the top performing sectors here, guys. You can see that the tech sector is leading the way, up about a 0.6%. Then we got the communication service is also green today, up about a third here. And then, boom. Just a lot of red after that there, Sharif. So consumer staples down about just under 1%, 9/10. Utilities down about 1.3, and then the real estate sector down 1 1/3 as well too there, guys. So yeah, there's your win play show, and there's your bottom 3 right there. So 2 of them are green, 2 sectors are green. Healthcare sector sitting in that 3rd place, guys, but not looking too good for the rest of the market, especially when you touch all-time highs. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good opportunity to buy the dip. I mean, the all-time high strategy of just buying those is a pretty good one as well too. A lot of people in the chat, or is it just one individual who keeps saying TSMC or TMC? All right, we'll take a look at that, but please don't spam the chat.
You don't want to catch Joey hands.
Yeah, you don't want Joey hands. Yeah, you definitely don't want to catch those today. Yeah, so here we go, guys. There it is, the Metals Co. 762 where we're currently trading at. A nice opening candle right there on the 15-minute. Now we're just trading right around the volume weighted average price. I don't know what you want to get from me, but there you go. The chart speaks for itself, right? Watch out for this print at the end of the day, because there can definitely be a gap fill to the downside here. Okay, yeah, we'll take care of that there, Andre, in uno momento, por favor. So there we go. Yeah, yeah, there we go. So yeah, there it is. I mean,
have you been practicing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Still practice.
What are you doing again? You doing duo?
Yeah.
You're doing duo, eh?
Yeah.
Where's the XP at? Let me
I
see
don't
the
even
XP.
know, bro.
I'll do
It's
an
not
XP
good.
check real quick. Neil knows about the XP check. He knows all about that.
Let's see what we got.
What do you at there, Joe? We're going to do a little XP comparison.
It's not looking good there, buddy. Am I dreaming? Why is my name like this? Why is it saying that? Am I dreaming? Who's this?
Yeah, because you don't even log in. Show the people what it just told you, bro.
Bro,
you just completely contradict.
Bro, what is going on here? Wow.
So essentially what the app just told Joseph is like, hey, it's been so long. Where have you been? Welcome back, Joey. I mean, to me, it seems like you haven't opened up the app in a long time.
Dude, there's no way.
In other words, you haven't been practicing. We're going to have to go to
How did it do this to you?
No. This is great, bro. This reminds me of like that Neil fitness video on TikTok that I couldn't live down for 2 years. Sorry to keep you waiting, Adara.
Hi here on the market. Fed Chair Powell saying that with regards to tariffs, all forecasters are expecting a significant increase in inflation. Now, once again, I would say keep an eye on this PCE print we have on Friday. This is often referred to as the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. We know people have generally expected, and I believe Jerome Powell even said himself yesterday during his testimony for the House, that starting in June, or the end of June now, and July is when they're starting to expect we might get to see some of this tariff inflation impact. With that in mind, keep an eye on the PCE on Friday. Again, Powell saying that all forecasters are expecting tariffs to lead to a, quote, significant increase in inflation. Market continuing to make lower highs and lower lows. Back to you.
All right, sorry, just before we tease Joey a little bit over here. Guys, Poet is on the warpath to the high side. Look at that breakout. Look, it's not a big percentage winner. We know these ones can go triple digits quick as you like. This has only got 16 points under its belt there, but this is a beautiful looking technical chart pattern here. If you trade these small cap gappers, so seldomly are they very respectful in the way that this is doing. You got bull flag number 1, bull flag number 2, and now we're currently forming what could be bull flag number dang 3 as we make another new high, baby. 503, the high of the day. This clears $5. That's a beautiful looking candle there. Opens at the low, closes at the high. Very directional. And this is the 5-minute chart. We're back at the high of the day at 503, and the volume profile is basically jiving with the price action. It's not like we're getting crappy volume and expecting a reversal. So I don't punch in here. I got to get it in off a technical level. To me, it's going to be that 490, 495. I don't think $5 is going to be that, at least because we're too close to it at the moment. Every time I look at this, Joseph, it's printed another new high there. 505 now, the high of the day on Poet. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, we have to read them now, Fabian, because he's such a liability. We can't read his super chats without vetting them. Yeah, we're doing it live. Can I read this one?
You can read it.
I can read it. I will let Joe Welcher off the Tesla bet hook if he can wish me Merry Christmas in Spanish. You can't use Copilot.
Whoa. I'll be full disclosure. Andre already said it in my ear. But
Asesino, bro.
Yeah, he already gave it away, but I do know how to say it. It is Feliz Navidad, yes.
Feliz Navidad.
Yes.
Feliz Navidad. I mean, if you don't know that one, big spot.
Hoy es mi cumpleaños.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I have no idea, bro. No. I have no clue. I don't pretend to know how to speak Spanish.
No.
We can bust out some Mandarin, though.
Yeah.
Like, we can do that a little bit there. Wo shou zhongwen means I speak Chinese. Wo shou zhongwen. Yeah. What do you got?
I got nada apparently here right now, guys.
There's Fabian, by the way, guys.
There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Yeah, Feliz. A lot of funny stuff here cooking up, guys. Man, way to lighten the day up, man. I don't know. The thing is, though, I get frustrated. I let hockey get to me too much sometimes.
Played yesterday?
Yeah, we played last night. Yeah. Oh, dude, we were sweating buckets, brother. It was hot in the arena.
Well, dude, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you even played hockey.
Oh, I went to the outdoor workout gym yesterday, and no one was there. Yeah, no one was there. It was just me and your boy. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, the Asesino couldn't either.
You know what's funny?
Dude, how can you get grip on a metal bar with that kind of humidity?
Well, come on, man.
Oh, excuse me.
You know what I mean? We'll get back into the market in a second. Funny story. Years and years ago, during our heat wave, I'm at Park Lawn in Lakeshore, and I'm running. I run to the workout gym, and City TV, it was during a heat warning, City TV was there. And they interviewed me, and they're like, how come? Yeah, I swear. They're like, how come you're the only guy out here? And I was just like, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. But that's
front double bicep?
No, I didn't front double bicep. I was trying to make City TV. That's just a local news channel here. But yeah, back to these markets, guys.
Yes,
Google moving back towards these highs, so a really nice look. Hopefully we don't double top, but I mean a nice oversold bounce here. That's what we're looking for. I'm happy this trade played out for us really, really well. I think I'm going to close it out here relatively quick, maybe leave a little bit as a runner just to stay technically sound, because that's what we want to do. But Adair, what do you got for us?
Here, keep an eye on some of these names like PFE and Moderna. Have a report here, or I guess suggesting that Donald Trump's pick to run the CDC, her name is Susan Menares. She's currently the acting director of the agency. It's apparently ratifying the importance of vaccines as RFK Jr. actually moves to limit access. So seems like potentially a good catalyst for these names. Again, if even as, of course, we know RFK Jr., who is the head of Health and Human Services, is not necessarily pro-vaccine. Looks like the current acting director, and again, Donald Trump's pick to lead the CDC, is apparently right now trying to ratify their importance. So interesting look here. We're going to have to wait and see how that shakes out. But right now, at least briefly, a positive catalyst for mRNA and PFE. Back to you.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. All right, Shane D, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. I love this question. Joe, I bought July 25th calls for T. Oh, okay, so we only got about a month. Okay, 85, time to cash out or wait. So, okay, there you go. Write out your trade plan. If you have multiple contracts, lock some of that profit in. You can't go broke taking a profit. As Neil says it, a lot of traders say that as well too. And then just maybe leave a contract or two for a runner and just accept that. If you have 10 contracts, take off 5, 6, or 7 of them and then leave the other 3 and be like, hey, I don't really care what happens to this. It's either I'm going to make more money or it's going to just, I'll stop out, break even. So do one of those 2 things. I think you'll be well off on that front. So yeah, thank you, Shane D, for the super chat. And we got a $2 one from, I think you already covered there. Doesn't say anything behind it, but thank you for the $2 super chat there.
Yes, sir.
Nathan XE. So yeah, that's what I got. I don't got any trades right now. Bitcoin is selling aggressively, rejecting that 108 level. Not too good of a look there on that front. I might just close my my contracts for a loss and then just use that to, and then I'll sell my swing shares as well too, just to mitigate the losses there and still turn out slightly positive. But that's, again, when I talk about free rolling, that's just essentially using your unrealized gains to acquire more size. And with that being said, I grabbed more contracts, but I had a lot of unrealized gains that allowed me to do so. And I think by the end of the day, considering we rejected 108 aggressively, I might just close that. And if it breaks, it breaks. But I'm more than happy with that setup and how I managed it there.
All right, new position. Got into VYNE, looking for this one to continue the bull flag pattern that I perceive it to have. I will defend this into $1.30, so we got $1.39 on now. I've layered some orders, smaller position on this one to start, but I don't mind adding, especially if it comes into that $1.30, you know, buck low 30s, and then puts in a good hold at that level. So keeping my eye on this one. I'm involved in SWIN. I was explaining to Orabi in the chart there, or in the chat, excuse me, my theory on this one, if you missed it, Orabi, was a flat top break through 340. If you zoom a little bit on this one, you'll see that no closing prints were able to clear that 340 level, despite the fact that the high of the day is 348. So this one is in pulling into the volume weighted average price. Yeah, it's done that before. If it loses that 3.25 area, we're gonzino, but I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. I'm also keeping my eye on Poet, P-O-E-T. Where is it at? There it is. Okay, so this one topping tail into 507. This one's been quite respectful of the moving averages. I picked this up off the 10 EMA, topping tail or candle or not. The 10 EMA show me 492. Let's go ahead and put a starter position at 92s. There's going to be a starter position. I don't mind dollar cost averaging into this one, into the volume weighted average price, which is currently about $4.80 there on my chart. So I'm keeping my eye on Poet. I'm keeping my eye very fixated right now on SWIN and my newest position, which is VYNE. Looks like it's holding up here. So we did get the ad at $1.38. So we got 39s on now. Okay, not bad. We'll wet the beak there. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. There we go. We'll wet the beak there at 42s. We'll put a sell there, and then we'll put another one at 44s, and we can layer the orders on this one. I don't mind. Let's see what we get here with VYNE. Also has some top resistance there. You can see that it can't really clear a $1.45, but it seems like it's more like 142, give or take, because there's really no closing prints above that 143, 142 area. So I'm keeping my eye out on that. So that's basically all I have right now. Look, the Russell is the worst performing major average on the day, the Russell 2000, aka the small cap index. It's down 0.82. So yeah, I don't always like to base my trades on what the Russell is doing, but the pickings are slim today in small cap gapper world. The best performing small cap gappers, NKTR, believe it or not, and it's up 35%. Not the biggest day for these small caps, but we're going to keep an eye, see if we can extract some profits if it sets up, man. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And that is it. Even with a low volume, asks Orabi. Yeah, that's a really good point, brother, because it usually displeases me when things are spready. And this one is spready. Right now it's showing me 1 penny spread, but that's quite the anomaly. It moves as wide as 5 and 6, maybe even 7 on a $3 name. And the spread has to do with the volume. It's got 403,000 shares. So you're absolutely right about that. It's not typically down my wheelhouse for these small cap gappers to be low volume like that. Jojo Bunani, aren't you worried about the volume price when trading VYNE? Anyone could push this thing around with 100K. That's basically the case for almost all small caps, my friend. It looks like you're probably a newer viewer. I trade these almost every single day. So if you are thinking about trading these in the way that you trade mid caps and large caps, don't do that. Get specialized in small cap trading. It's basically an entirely different beast. They don't move the same way. The candles don't mean the same thing. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. But you bring up a really good point. VYNE, we just took the first print there to the high side at 142. It just popped up into 143. The next profit taker is going to be around $1.44. So that's what I'm keeping my eye out on right now. Let's see if this one continues up. Adara is at the big desk with breaking news.
And BP, Wall Street Journal reporting that Shell is in early talks to acquire the company. So BP on watch, currently valued at close to $80 billion, and Shell is apparently in active discussions with the company. Also, before we send you back, I think this is kind of an interesting discussion too. I like that you're talking about the difference between trading small cap, Sharif. I wonder if, it'd be interesting to kind of do a study, and maybe I'll just watch this, how these spready small caps move compared to these spready more expensive stocks, because we talked about the difference between these mid caps to large caps and the small caps. I digress. Keep an eye on BP. Again, acquisition talks reported by the Wall Street Journal with Shell. And back to you.
Thank you for that, Adair. D. Westermeyer, my man, the OG. Neil, he's from the Midwest. Is that correct? Yeah, thank you. PRTG, regain Nasdaq compliance. Thoughts? Long $7 from pre-market. Let's have a look at PRTG, regaining Nasdaq compliance. PRTG, let's see this one, Joseph. Okay, so this is good for the pre-market, but you know my rules, D. It's got to be above the pre-market high, and it also has to be above VWAP. Now, let's see what this looks like on the daily. Yeah, it's a former runner, so it's a repeat offender. And the ticker definitely did ring a bell. Yeah, so intraday, D, I'm gonna have to say no go on this one just for myself. Doesn't mean you can't trade it very well. It's gonna have to clear that 9 1/3. I've got 2 rules for these small cap gappers: above the pre-market high if it was trading in the pre-market with volume, and above the volume weighted average price. This bad boy fills both. So, I'm going to have to say no go on that one. But let me know how it ends up going for you, D. Shout out to you, my man. And thank you. Man, this guy's all class, bro. When he came,
D
brought
West?
me, D. Westermeyer,
yeah,
brought me honey, sorghum, and these cinnamon balls. It's a sweetener.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
like a natural sweetener.
Okay.
Sick. Yeah, I made the treats with it, by the way.
Your class. All right.
Yeah,
we like
absolutely.
Class,
He's pure
man.
class.
We like class.
Yeah.
We like class, bro.
Shout out to D. Westermeyer.
That's Mr. Westermeyer that Neil always talks about.
Yes, it is,
Yeah,
actually.
there you go. All right, cool. So very
ADTX, Bovin yelling about. Let's have a look at ADTX for the OG Bovin. Oh, okay. All right, not a bad look there, Bovin. What do we got here on volume? Okay, decent volume. We certainly have a lot of range per candle. So if you look at every candle and you look at the juxtapose it to some of these tighter ranges over here, it's got a wide range per candle. But what's the move here? The move is to pick it up on a sloping upward trend line. Why is that? Because the first thing that I notice about ADTX is the higher lows. You're not necessarily getting consistency with the highs. And usually when you're getting into the highs, you're selling off aggressively. So my move here, Bovin, would be to pick up off a higher low, off that trend line. So that would be my move. Let me know if that's what you're looking at, my man. That's how I would trade it. What do you got, Joe?
My man. You know what that's?
Of course, from what's that movie with Denzel?
Denzel, there you go, my man.
At least I know one.
Let's go. I'm happy we got that one there, man. Muy feliz. All right, guys, let's see what we got going on. Let's pull up this Bitcoin chart here and do a little TA on this bad boy, on this. Maybe I'll save those words for myself. There we go. Boom, nice trend. Now we're sitting on the back side of it. So let's eliminate some of these lines here. Here we go. And there it is, folks, right into that 108. I had this drawn out this morning on my phone. I was just looking at it because I seen it. I was like, oh, okay, we're strong once again, but you can see that aggressive rejection. So we're still fully in this downtrend right here. But again, we have a monster move. So yeah, I told you guys where I stand on this. I just hope it doesn't go into that multi-month consolidation again. But I guess you just have to accept the fact if it does, then look for a 30% move after following that, because that's usually what it tends to do. Consolidate for a couple months, boom, boom, boom. Let's put up in a nice 20, 15, or 20, 30% a couple of months, and then boom, back into another consolidation there on Bitcoin. But man, what a monster AMD is. I can't even get over this stock.
What happened?
Off of these lows, off the Liberation Day lows there, Sharif. This thing is up 80%. So, yeah, what a big-time move. We all thought Advanced, I can't even call it that anymore. Advanced Micro Devices was in the dumps, and it took forever to get back to where it had to go. But, I mean, sitting from where we're currently trading at to those previous all-time highs, we're still down about 40%, right? So just take that into consideration. I think we will head back towards that realm, wait for a pullback, and then possibly look to continue in this strong name. They're striking deals. What is the MI 400 that Elisa's got coming out next year, I believe, as well too. So yeah, some good things down the pipeline for AMD. All right, Coach Hartman, be here. Joey Shivers, take a walk on the wild side. Forget iBit. Let BitX for Sharif, man.
I'm sorry, bro. Yo, Neil's cold too, man. Oh, I love this, man. I love this. No.
Neil Shivers. No, Dara, don't go there. Anyways, take a wild side. Forget iBit. Let BitX put twice that work in. Yeah, much appreciated. I should start trading BitX. It is a little bit cheaper too. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Take my word for it. Thank you for the reminder, and thank you for that $5 super chat. Be careful. Use your words very, very wisely, my friend. No, I'm only playing. But AMD is that guy. Google is that guy today. And I think we're going to get some continuation in NVDA. Like I said, 155, maybe by the end of the week, but most definitely by the end of next week.
All right, NKTR is coming back down to the volume-weighted average price. This one looks like it could be a flat bottom break. We'll see. This is a good technical area for NKTR. And the reason I say that, look at all the topping tail candles that all reject generally this $32 area, $31.50, $32, right? Then you clear it. You make the new high at day 37.38. You come back down. Lo and behold, look where you find support, 32.20. You pop back up to 35. This is where we had it. It pops back down right back at 32, which is now the volume-weighted average price. So what I mean to say by flat bottom break is usually you get a descending wedge pattern, lower high, all the while, same area low, and then this happens as described there on the screen animation. We'll see if this ends up breaking down or what the situation is with this one. I'll pack my patience on that. I don't have to get in right away. It is not... it's not setting up in really the way that I like. But I'm in a new position now on Poet. I've weaseled into Poet over here. We're taking prints. I had a dip trade here to fill at 92s. I felt, you know, there was a good price action resistance there. It didn't come all the way down, so I punched, and it looks like we're going to get printed at 7s over here. So that's going to be the high of the day, 507 on Poet. Let's go ahead and set up at 10s as well. Let's see if we can get a nice move up here on POET. It's not the biggest mover on the day. VYNE just lost the bid there, so I didn't have a stop on that. That's going to get me in trouble. Now we filled at that level, so let's go ahead and put the stop. That's a mistake on me right there. Should have been way more alive to that. You know.
Someone said they can't see your screen. Is there a reason for that? There's only one person who said it, so.
It's okay. So 137, we've got it at the moment. It showed me 134, so it did just lose VWAP, but this could be a stop hunt because we're right back above the volume-weighted average price. So let's see what this one does. I've moved up. I put my stop at $1.25. Loses at $1.25. We're going to go red on VYNE, full disclosure. So let's see what we get here. Let's set up a profit taker at around here. We'll see if we can get a another move back up on this one. Back to Poet, excuse me, because this one is actually moving to the high side. We get 10s as well. So Poet really going here, guys. New high day, $5.10 HOD at the moment. Where are we long? On Poet, we're long 99, so let's keep going here. Let's see if we can get another move up, possibly into 5.25. It's been very respectful of the 10 EMA on the 5, so we'll see if we can continue to extract money on that one. SWIN. This trade might be on the way out, okay? So we're 3 pennies out of the money, showing me 29s. I've got 32s on, and it's not even filling me. Look how long it's been below my dollar cost average level there, and I'm not getting the fill. That is because of the spread on SWIN. So yeah, you guys asked me why I was involved in this, and it was a great question because this is the problem with these ones. You can't get the executions as quick as you would like because of the lack of liquidity. Let's go back to VYNE, show me 35. So now we're about 2 pennies out of the money on this one. Let's see if this one can pop up. Joseph, take out some levels because I think I got stop hunted there, or whoever was long this got stop hunted as it just popped right back up above the volume weighted average.
Long this, yeah, long this, man. So coin dipped today before next 2-day rip. Yeah, let's take a look at coin. I mean, we've already, I think, I'm not going to say we've missed the run, but you also don't want to chase it all the way up here. You want to stay somewhat calculated, even though this move has gone absolutely parabolic on coin. It's starting to cool off a little bit here, which is a positive sign, right? You just don't want to go up in a straight line all the time. I mean, we'll take this, but at some point, if you can get involved around this neck of the woods, then I think you'll be all right sitting around that 320 level. But this breakout was massive. You got to take into consideration the move that we made from that breakout level to where we're currently sitting at is 35%, right? So for me personally, this isn't a horrible candle, right? So the volume supporting it, and you can see it's starting to cool off here as well. So take that into consideration. If you get a pullback into 320s or even lower 340s, then I think it's a good opportunity to start allocating some shares, and I think that's like a solid game plan. We're going to continue to climb in this name, and Circle's looking good as well too. So CRCO. Okay, so there you go. Massive, couple big selling days here, guys. But this is what I'm referring to. When you have a hammer candle like this, it's like, okay, that's a short signal. Okay, be patient, wait for the lower end to break. But then you get this additional signal, and this is a really strong pattern right there, guys. So you'll see when you've had multiple gap up days or a stock has essentially gone parabolic, look for these signals, and you'll be able to find trades based off of that. I want to pull up CoreWeave momentarily, Sharif. I think, yeah. Let's pull up CoreWeave here. Why, you don't like CoreWeave? All right.
Me?
No. There we go, the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
That's Circle. That's Circle.
Yeah, well, I know. I got. Yeah, there we go. There, it's a little legger. There we go. Bang.
So is it time yet, Joey?
Yeah, I think
3 days in a row now?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you can break through this support level, then you can maybe get some more downward movement here in CoreWeave. But again, you want to look for those specific signals that say, hey, let's get in on this trade. Let's take it for a swing to the long side or to the short side. And that's exactly what we did here on Gold. We're not complicating it. Security breach. See, I don't even remember. I think it was like millions and millions of passwords. Hopefully they didn't get our passwords there, Sharif, on that data breach.
Change
there.
your passwords yet, or what?
Did you?
After that? Yeah.
Did you actually? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like I've been working on my Duolingo there.
So you admitted it then, huh?
No, I haven't.
You admitted it then.
No,
okay, yeah. Okay,
I don't know what happened there. It's been,
all right,
I've been lagging.
All right. Pull it up.
Dude, I pull you. It started me all over.
We're gonna do a little bit over here. So where's my XP at?
How many? Hold on. No. I don't even care about that.
Right
no, dude, listen to me. Let me see your days in a row.
I'm over 100. I'm
Days
about
in a row?
130.
Let me see the day streak. I'll believe you when I see it.
You're not gonna believe me?
No, I never said. I'll believe you when I see it.
Look at the top. What does that say?
123. Bang. Let's go, my guy.
Bro, it ain't no joke. And by the way,
zero.
End of July will have been a year straight.
A year straight?
A year straight. Maximum I took off with 3 days in a row.
How many gems do you have there?
Well, I use them, right? Because you can use them for stuff. But this is how to do it. You check out the XP. So you go profile.
Yeah.
How much, what does that say right there?
With the XP?
Yeah, what does that say?
I can't read.
You can't read?
No, I can't read that one.
66,200. There it is.
AP trades,
you can't see it there, but yeah, you know what I mean.
AP trades says 210-day streak. Dripping. Oh, and then Neil says you're dripping in XP.
Because his daughter says that,
Yeah,
right?
oh,
She
dripping in
studies
XP?
French
Oh, there
using
you go.
Duo, and
Oh,
she's
there you
always telling him,
Dripping in
Daddy, I'm
XP.
dripping in XP.
Let's go. I love that. Okay,
love
we
it.
got a.
Seal? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that one
Yeah.
yet, Fabian. La Foca, okay.
Okay.
Hold
all
on.
right, all right, hold on.
Is it actually, though? Why does that sound French? Okay.
Whatever he
I
said.
thought, for some reason, I was thinking Spanish.
Okay,
My bad.
I can't even read that name, unfortunately, but thank you for the 17 shekels. We'll call it 18 flat.
Mm.
Hello from Israel. What do you guys think of RCAT and Tesla? I bought 1,000 RCAT for $7.12 for a swing to $9.40 to $10. Also bought 200 Tesla and 300 Tesla long. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll go over RCAT here quick before we send it back to Sharif. RCAT. And then we'll take a look at Tesla. Ooh, starting to pull back here a little bit, but this trend is still intact. Just hold on until it cracks if you have the ability to do so. Just have those stops in place, right? So as soon as you come to the south side of this trend line, look to get out, and then you can get back in when some indecision is formed, or you're comfortable with slowly starting to allocate south of that line there. But if it holds up, then congratulations. Things are really starting to work out for you. Let's pull up Tesla. I mentioned this name. I thought we were going to break this 369 level on this big move up on the robo-taxi news, and then after, this was the Donald Elon rift right here, and then I thought this would be enough liquidity to grab, boom, 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 and then now, sure enough, we're starting to pull back on garbage numbers coming out of the European Union there, or EU, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to stunt some of my Mandarin there, but I'm finding a hard way to get in because like none of the words that we use are like some of the words that I'm actually learning.
What do you think your strongest, give me your strongest sentence, something that you're really comfortable with saying.
I'm comfortable with everything that I've learned.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Like I when I finish a chapter, whatever you call them, sections or whatever, I won't go to the next one right away.
Yeah.
I'll spend like a week, maybe sometimes a week and a half, just drilling all the stuff that I've learned so that I don't forget
let's do this then. Let's go Duolingo. Make a reservation for 3 people.
I can't make reservations. I know how to say. I can say people. I can say 3. I can say go. If you want to say let's take 3 people to the restaurant, I can say that, right? But I don't know how to. I don't know how to make.
You ready? You want me to do it in Spanish right now?
Sure. Go.
All right. Yo quiero una reserva para 2 personas. Por favor.
Dropping cash.
I want a reservation for 4 people, please and thank you.
I like that. That's not bad at all. That's obviously functional. I'm assuming that's why you learned it, because like when you go to these places, you want to be able to do stuff like that. That makes sense. I didn't really like that part of Duolingo where it's like teaching me only travel words and sentences and things. Like I get the practicality of that because people probably want to learn a language before they travel to it. But to me, it wasn't about that. It was about learning, these people that keep taking our market share. You know what I mean? So that was kind of my idea there. But that actually great pronunciations.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I'll say one more. No camiseta.
What does that mean?
No t-shirt.
Is that your version of tarp off?
Yeah, exactly.
Attaboy. I still don't know how to say tarp off in Mandarin. I might have to check out Back with Chow back there. All right, guys, here's the deal. SWIN, you guys were right. I was wrong. Got stopped out of this one. It wasn't before. We took some profits though, but full disclosure, I added here. So we got stopped out super close to where we added. I added at 25. I ended up getting stopped at 22. So I'll take this loss as SWIN. Basically a rounded top pattern. It's basically dropping quite aggressively below the volume weighted average price. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that one. Consider, okay. I don't like your username, but je shabi. Je shabi. So means is. Ge. Okay, so ge is a measuring word, is it not? So it's like ige, so that's a measuring word. Sha, I don't know, and bi, I don't know. I know ba, but I don't know bi. So tell me what it actually means. I can actually copy and find out. Thank you, Mr. Consider. I'm not going to say the rest of your name there, but thank you very much for that. Let's keep an eye out on VYNE. This one's popping back up to 35. I've got 37s on. I got shares on this one. Just popped back above the volume weighted average price. Let's see if we can get some moves there into $1.45. That is the high of the day. Also, I'm holding on to my position on Poet. I do have a plan to add to this one into a technical area here. I've taken out about more than half the position on the move into 510 with that 514 beak wetter going unfilled. Still trading above the 10 EMA on the 5. I'm going to keep my eye out on this one, see what we can get for a nice move up. Shabi means, oh wow, okay. it means dumbass. Okay. All right. Maybe I should have just copied that before into chat before reading it out.
Oh.
But you know, if you do that, you're just gonna. Sorry, buddy. You just lost your voice on this channel. So peace. Fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice.
That's how it works.
Shame on me.
Yeah.
Remember George Bush?
Yeah. You say.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
It's literally what I said.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But what was your
All right, guys. I can't listen to this and trade, so let's just focus on what we're doing. What do you got?
I got nothing. But
Okay,
what we
so
can
let's not focus on that. Let's move on. All right.
All right, I got something here. Let me talk about what we got going on here. Anyways, enough going on with that. It's lunchtime now, so we already know what's for lunch. NVDA is holding up the volume weighted average price. So let's see if it breaks that, and then maybe we look for some indecision and the continuation in strength there. You want to stick to the strong names if you're looking for the longs, or if it breaks the volume weighted average price with momentum.
Oh my goodness.
What do you say? I didn't hear anything. What do you say?
He's shivering in the corner of the screen
it's
there,
cold.
bro.
Yeah, there you go. It's cold. It's definitely not warm.
I didn't even see him till they put him
It's
on
not
the
warm in here,
screen.
but yeah, Google trading around 171.98, touched into 172 there, and starting to pull back a nice indecision print at that high. But I wouldn't be looking to short such a strong name. I'm going to be looking to possibly short Tesla here if it does reject VWAP. That's going to be right around 327.87. And then if we go south of that, or sorry, if we go north of that, I'll be looking for indecision and the continuation of this downtrend. I mean, we are down over 5% on the day, so you might not get that test of the low of the day, but just be cautious and look for that move where it constructs a higher low there on that one there.
Are we going to Adara? It's 12?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We're going to do a little happening now and a little lesson of the day from Neil, but let's take a look first at this Nasdaq. Cratering a little bit here. It's still up of the day about 0.2%, actually 0.21% here. But let's see if that's able to do something for it, because right now it is near lows of day, or not lows of day, but pretty weak here. S&P 500 actually, I would argue, looking a little bit stronger. Going to have a little bit of a bounce here around that 606 halves level. Let's see if we're able to push. But yeah, I think you can really look at the distinct difference here between the NASDAQ and the SPY. You could even tell when we looked at the sector board earlier today, NASDAQ outperforming a little bit, at least early in the day. Here is CRCL, Circle, cracking below that 200 level. This name continuing its push to the downside after 3 days straight of rallying. This is now its second red day, should it close red, which right now it is very much poised to. Here's FedEx, FEX. This is a day one earnings play. There's a couple others to watch out for. Paychex, PAYX, and BlackBerry, BB, as well as GIS, General Mills. So some different plays. Regardless of what you're looking for, the market is providing a lot of opportunities. That is to be sure. But now you're going to have an opportunity to learn a little bit what to look for today with Neil. And it's always exciting, always eventful, and very informative lesson of the day. So without any further ado, Neil, why don't you take it away?
Thank you very much, Adara. I'm gonna try and heat things up here with a lesson of the day. Look, I'm on Joe's side 110%. It's just abnormally cold in the office here today. It's just, I might even put a sweater on, which is weird because it's nice and warm outside. But a lot of times we trade the news because that's where the action is going to be. And ooh, I like that. Well played. I like that. I'm a fan. We can do that more often. A lot of times we'll play the news, but the reality is if you're trading something, and I'll get to like, I just got in and out. I'll give a little bit on BP back, but I want I want to talk about when something is going parabolic and you want to join in to the trend. I try not to be a chaser, Shell interested in BP here, but there's usually an opportunity when everyone starts taking profit that you can get in. So I moved to a 1 minute chart because when you have breaking news or something like this, a lot of times the lower time frame is going to be able to help you. And you can see where I dip bought. Sometimes you let them run a certain level and then try to get in after the fact. And so what I mean by that is the first dip after the news on a 1 minute came back in here, pulling back into 31.5, which that ends up mattering. We end up closing at candle just above 32 and then opening just above 32 to make the fresh high. So at that moment, I'm looking at the target zone between that 32, the open close, and 31.5. And so when it does the pullback, you're just eyeballing it. Do buyers step in after they run 32? Let them run 32. A lot of people are going to go long in front of the even dollar. Let it stop 32. The second it shows me a bid, initially, it came right back up and retook 32, so I got some in. It then came underneath, held the 31.8 low. Okay, now we can get more. So it holds that double bottom. We're in first time back through 32. We add here at 90s, and then it's a quick little scalp trade. In this particular case, the strategy overall has to do with finding the initial equilibrium area on the dip where the buyers came back in. And that's a bit of a target area. You know they came at 32, but they also were able to just shoot it up that 50 cents from 31.5 into 32. So that becomes the target area where I want to see a higher low, and then I'm taking this tight trade in here with a stop that's really risking 15, 20 cents to be able to make if it goes to the high. I mean, I tried to let it fly and hold the last quarter for a little bit more, but you're just trying to take a quick scalp out of that trade, knowing where your target entry is going to be. The good thing about a news play is volume and volatility. The volume's going to be there in the short term. Like, it's going to eventually taper off like it did. I did try this bottoming tail. It looked pretty good, bottoming tail in front of VWAP, so I get back in, but that doesn't hold. But you can see the volume tapering. You want to try to grab it when it's still doing a lot of volume, and those initial candles can give you a lot of indication. So I'm not a huge fan of, I mean, if you catch it somewhere in the early up move, great, that's awesome. But when you get that first initial dip, that's going to be information. I'm not just sitting on the bid in that dip. I'm taking in that information, finding an area that I want to trade in between, and then when it runs, everybody stops in here somewhere, I'm waiting in that target area to catch my quick dip buy. It's a quick scalp trade, and that'll apply. Look, it could have been bad news. We've done this before on, like, say, Boeing. Not to pick on Boeing, but Boeing seems to always have bad news. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, that came out of nowhere. Let's just say there's been some working on some lights on top of me, and the allergies are having a field day with me. It's not the cold. No, that's just, there's a lot of dust from these lights that are malfunctioning. No, but sorry about that, guys. No, just there's information that you're going to be able to grab whenever you break liquidity zones. And a lot of times, everyone's so wrapped up in trying to take the trade that instead of, okay, well, let's be patient, let's get information in this level, and then we'll take the trade if it comes back in, as opposed to, well, this is going to be the dip buy, let's just load it up. Hey, it would have worked if you just guessed, but what am I buying into if I just take it as it's doing the first dip? I don't really have a level, I don't really have an out, and if you just take a trade because of reasons and you don't have an out, if you win, here's the problem. If you just win constantly doing this, like buying that initial dip, without any information, that works for you, and you don't have an out, the time it fully retraces without your out, you're just going to lose 3x, whatever you make, 4x, whatever you make. And that becomes pointless, because you want to make sure that you structure a trade where I know where I'm wrong, and I'm not just averaging in hoping it's going to go up. I mean, that can work sometimes. The problem is, what I have found over time is when you make that kind of a trade, yeah, it'll work a few times, but when it doesn't, all you've done is built up a strategy that has bad risk to reward, so that when you leverage up on it, you're just going to lose more than you can make. And that gets you in trouble. So we all like chasing news stories or trading things that are in play. Allow the dip, allow the continuation, or allow the pullbacks, whatever it might be, to give you some information, then act on that with a little bit of patience. So there's your lesson of the day, a little bit different because this one came out of nowhere and I figured it was a good one because BP is going to be in play. This would be a massive deal. I wonder what the regulators would think about this, to be honest.
Thank you very much, Neil. Awesome, as always, Neil Roberts, every day around that lunch hour, dropping his lesson of the day. All right, new small cap gapper, SAFX, really going over here, trying to build my position into it. I feel this one's got a nice little higher low pattern, so building the position incrementally. A couple of ins already, one beak wetter, nothing really to write home about. Looking for that bigger ad, kind of disappointed it came right into my level there and we didn't get filled. But here it is again on the warpath to the high side. It's a 286 high. It's a midday mover. The volume really just started coming in around here at 1140. So it's a newer trade. 286 the area high. We'll see if this one can continue to put in higher highs and higher lows. It's got a volume weighted average price at around 250. So I'm building my position into this. Initial entry at 82s, wet the beak at 85s, added at 75. Now 65 and 55 are going to be my next add areas as I look to defend the volume weighted average price. Adara.
I just want to let you guys know, Fed Chair Powell has finished the meeting. As I mentioned, he had a little bit of a time crunch. They had a hard out. So it's ended just after 12 p.m. It was a pretty eventful one. As we mentioned, some very lively back and forth between senators and Fed Chair Powell. And he continued to be kind of cagey as to when he feels rates should be cut. We know some Fed governors, specifically Waller and Bowman, have both said they're comfortable with potentially rate cuts as early as July. Powell has not expressed the same sentiment, and he said, quote unquote, at some point we'll resume rate cuts. So he's really trying to gun for the end of the year, contrary to the opinion of some of his governors. So that's a quick Fed summary. 1 p.m. we do have that 5-year note auction. I'll cover that for you guys, of course. But in the meantime, back to the Bash Brothers.
Yeah. On the board, what would make you think why a company wouldn't want to split their stock?
You thought you were asking me?
Yeah.
Why they wouldn't want to split?
Yeah.
Afraid maybe, what would be the reason they would split the stock price? Why are you looking at it from the other way? You know what I mean? Like,
so from the other way, get more hands involved, right? You get the retail hands, et cetera, is why you would split it.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Absolutely.
You're on the same brokerage as I am, so we both have the same and we know our brokerage has fractional shares.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's relatively newer though.
It is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's a few years.
Yeah.
So you're good point.
They brought it back though, didn't you? You used to be able to buy fractional, then they discontinued it for a while or something, and then I think they brought it back. I could be totally wrong, but no, I'm just curious. What I'm getting at here, Sharif, we've seen it in the likes of Tesla. I don't know if Tesla would have the valuation that it has without it splitting. I don't know if Amazon would have the valuation it has currently now without it splitting. And I can go down the list of the top names, right?
Fair.
So what essentially I'm getting at is if you have a goal to be $1 trillion market cap, I do believe that you need the hands of the retail investors to get involved. And I'm just curious to why Netflix, being such a monstrous stock and doing what it's been doing, and if they have that objective of hitting that $1 trillion market cap, why would you not want to get more hands involved? Because
Sorry, I have a counter to this, if I may. I have a couple points. So one, NVIDIA went really quickly through the top 10 trillion in terms of the names with the largest market cap. While it was not pre-split, it actually, I think it got to the #1 spot for the first time right after it split. But the point is, it was able to do really, really well without splitting. Point number 2, and of course, this is slightly facetious of me, what would the spready ticker traders do if these things split? But yeah, no, in all seriousness, NVIDIA proved that you can really escalate up the ranking and still have $1,000 stock price.
Absolutely, Adara. And just to add one more point to that, I agree with you on that point. But NVDA, I'm pretty sure, did split before that as well too. So again, it did run up.
It did. It split in
before,
2021.
It split in 2021, and then it went up to where it was $1,000, and then it did that 10-to-1 split. So essentially, what I'm getting at, I don't think we've seen a split in Netflix, and nor have we ever seen the split in Meta. I'm not saying Meta isn't as investable, but if you want, and congratulations to Meta. Obviously, it's a fantastic company, one of the top names. But if Netflix has that goal of hitting that $1 trillion market cap, I think it needs to do this. And it's going to attract a lot of names, a lot of retail investors, including myself. And I'm curious to think what you guys in the chat. If if Netflix was relatively cheaper, say it did a 10-to-1, would you buy Netflix? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Sharif, what do you got?
All right, we got to do this. Your heart will beat 100,000 times today, and every beat, guys, is a data point. AIML Innovations on the CSC as AIML, and on the OTC exchange under AIMLF, turns data into potentially life-saving insights with max yield. An AI engine that filters noise, labels each heartbeat with lab-grade precision, and shrinks ECG analysis from days down to minutes. What's their mission? To revolutionize how heart disease is detected, monitored, and prevented. So learn more at aimlhealth.health and follow them on social media at AIML Innova on X. Shout out to the great folks there at AIML. All right, I got to cover this here because we're involved in SAFX. I have a larger position on this one. So this one we got 3 out of the 4 ads. I've wet the beak multiple times there to the high side. Have nicely in the money at 62. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. That's my best profit takers at 85. It does seem to be rejecting 85 because 86 is the high of the day. It's got a triple top at $2.86. It can't seem to clear it. If we can, I think this one's going to break loose to the high side above 3. We'll have to pack our patience and find out. Adara with breaking news.
I have a bit of an update here to this BP story. In case you missed it, BP rocketing to the upside. We do have Shell reportedly interested in an acquisition of the company. They're apparently in active talks, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. Well, Shell has actually responded to the rumors. They do not outright deny them, but they really downplay it. A spokesperson for the company said that they're focused on capturing value in Shell through continuing to focus on performance, discipline, and simplification. So that's kind of a non-answer, but they don't address this rumored acquisition of BP. So BP dropping here as Shell downplays the rumors. Again, reported by the Wall Street Journal, no confirmation. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Joey?
Yeah, so just going through what some of the people in the chat. Matthew Santa Cruz says, duh, obviously. Like, well, obviously, I'm buying that. What else do you think, Joe? And then Rev Boost says, I like the year. So a lot of people saying yes, they would get involved in Netflix if it did another split. So yeah, well, let's see if we can get that rolling here. But we're short Tesla, guys. Thank you for participating on that. Always have fun chiming in with you guys. But I remember when we did the iPhone Samsung thing, everybody went berserk, and I think iPhone won there. But all right, Tesla, let's see if we can crack through this 1235 level of support. Then we'll look to start taking some out as we break through some of these key support levels. Bitcoin right back towards the volume weighted average price. Amazon not doing too much today either. I remember people used to trade this thing. It was like $4,000 or something like that.
I don't remember 4,000, but I remember the 2 and almost the 3.
Yeah,
that was during the pandemic.
Yeah. And
I remember that.
Yeah,
Wild.
there's a trader. He's like, yeah, I took like 5 shares, and it's like every $100 he's just selling one share, right, which is crazy. But
from a retail perspective, I completely get your question.
Yeah.
But again, when you get down to the nuts and bolts of things. You don't need to punch in one full share. We know you got
you can get the fractional. You can get the fractionals. So, but what are you gonna do? Buy like a 2/10 of some Netflix stock?
Well, those add up, bro. You buy like 1/3 per paycheck, whatever. You know whatever the number's gonna be.
You set a fixed percentage. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll respect that argument there. But that's what we got going on. Let's see if we can break this 324.95 level on Tesla. Are you going to punch through the volume weighted average price? I'm not going to take any more stabs on that one, considering the fact that 108, I think, is going to be some key resistance in order for it to break through. And chances of it doing intraday are probably pretty slim because we see some of the big moves come in the post market and then overnight when we're not really trading. So I guess the Asian markets really, or even the European markets, really moving. Yeah, China moving Bitcoin. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Amazon starting to head towards some of these key support level lows. You can see it on the 15-minute. There's going to be a big time level at 212, but I think it's a buy. A lot of these tech names. Let's go on from a daily standpoint, considering the Qs. Sharif made a good point. The Qs is the 100, but a lot of these major tech names, with the exception of NVDA, and who else is close to a new all-time high, but we're still 12% on Amazon, right? So that's a Mag 7 right there. Let's pull up Google. We're probably still about 20% off of those all-time highs here in Google. So bang, there's a discount, 17.25 there, Sharif. And then with the likes of your favorite one there, Apple. your best friend.
Yeah, of course. We're very good friends.
Yeah, they're very good friends. Love-hate relationship. 21, closer to 22% still off of those all-time highs. I mentioned if these names start to play catch-up, watch out. Shout out to
I like it.
You like that? You like how I said that one?
I like that. All right, Adara, what's happening up there?
What's happening, Sharif, is we take the time to thank our friends at Prop XP. You can level up your trading game with Prop XP. Up to 1 to 200 leverage and static drawdown. Scroll the site. Pick your challenge at propxp.com. Trade directly on our platform. Sign up, try it for free, and start your trading journey. Enjoy rapid payouts and real human support. No bots. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot. Trusted by traders worldwide. And right now, you can get 50% off with code TraderTV. Links in the description. Be the trader, get funded. Join Prop XP today. Prop XP, your edge starts here. Visit propxp.com. Back to you.
I got one thing to say.
What is it?
Get it, Adara.
Get it.
Boom.
If that doesn't make you want to sign up for Prop XP, I don't know what will.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I don't even want to bet.
You don't even want to. You'll just sign
Just after that.
Do it, man. Do it live.
I'll do it live. Yeah, like the Katina Man and Neil.
Do it live. Sign up on
DJing
Prop
into
X.
positions.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
Do you think we could do that? Maybe we'll do like a sports bet or something on live. Can we do that?
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
What's
We
up,
could do
baby?
anything we want. Fabian.
Okay. Hey, what's up? Just a reminder, you guys should vote because our chat wasn't really
How do
functioning.
they vote, Fabian?
As they always do. They just got to put in the ticker of their favorite ticker, you know, put the one that you believe in. And put a money sign right before it.
Boom.
Boom.
You got a dollar sign? The ticker. It's really that simple, guys. There's no exclamation point this, do that. Fabian made this program. It's super easy. You throw it in the chat. It automatically detects it. It tabulates it for us. And then when I weasel up to the big desk for the afternoon rundown, it's giving me literally every ticker and how many votes it has. It's that simple. Shout out to the Chilean Nightmare, man. Absolutely killing it on the ones and
I
twos.
just noticed our votes were really low since we started it like
because
at 10.
we made it super complicated and you simplified it.
Also,
So-
our morning was crazy.
yeah, it's fantastic, and I really
we go.
appreciate that, Fabian, because it's really helped. It's really helped organize things, at least for me. Okay, before we go,
Here's your good friend though. Here, heading toward the low of the day, guys. Right at
Fantastic.
opening price. So yeah, now back south of 200. We traded up to 203. Not a good look here in AAPL. Katina Man's got his lunch. We'll figure out what that is momentarily right after we get back from Madeira.
Just want to let you guys know here, there's another update for this BP report. Again, we had Wall Street Journal, reporting that Shell was considering an acquisition of BP, and apparently they were in active talks. That came out around 11:36, so about 45 minutes ago now. Then we had Shell downplaying the report in a way that suggests they actually might be in talks. They just said they're focusing on their strategy. Then we have CNBC now citing sources that apparently BP could be split in the event of a potential sale. So some updates here with regards to BP or British Petroleum here. We're going to send you back to the Bash brothers.
bro,
Tedros.
chill the hell out in the chat, bro.
Oscar.
Come on, Tedros.
Yeah, don't pull an Oscar De La Hoya there, brother.
I know, bro. Jeez,
Get-
Louise,
give me-
Tedros,
Catch him
man.
in the tiger.
All right. What's up with Oscar? Well, your boy Oscar De La Hoya? Don't get me started about what the problems there are, Katina, man, because I can go on for hours. But here's the deal. So let's, VYNE, we're involved in that one. We're taking Prince to the high side. We're long at 136, best speak wetter. 141 waiting for 142. I'm still bullish this one for a 142 flat top break. We're still rejecting that level. But look at absolutely SAFX, baby. We got this at 62s. We just took out 92s. Now Nate waiting at 95s, waiting at 98s. Here we go. We just take it out again. Oh my goodness.
I honestly, no, hold on. I got to cover this, man.
we're
No, I did. Whoa! I put the wrong person in timeout by accident. I apologize to that individual.
You got a little chicken action there.
Yo, no. Stop, please. Stop for a second. No. Did you hear about the new hottest segment out? It's called Jammin' with Joe.
No,
yeah, it is. No, stop. I have to try that chicken. Give me
Jammin' with
Please, I have to rate it. It looks so good.
Don't give him any.
All right, let me take that little piece right there, all right?
Wow. You owe him a
Wow.
piece. You owe him a piece.
What's it saying?
7-5.
No, this segment's not happening. No Portnoy. No.
No poor. Did you see him get kicked out?
Of where?
He tried to review a place. The guy told him to get the hell off the patio.
7.5.
He got so bitter.
7.5. Perfect, really good seasoning, nice and tender. Fantastic stuff. There it is, jamming with Joe.
I love it.
Your first.
See, this is the difference between you and I, man.
What's
I
that?
just eat for function, right? Like you're like, yeah. What's the spice of life? Let me get some enjoyment. I'm just an animal. All right, guys, here we go. SAFX, looking for this one to break that $3 area. We still have a couple of beak wetters left on this one. Great look here on SAFX. Big move up here. It's the best looking small cap gapper, in my opinion, in the market, and it's up 71%, just ahead of ULY, up 61 and change. Here we go. We're selling it. There's a big seller at 95. It looks like he's going to get shaken. 96. Can we get 98? That's where I'm waiting. Boom into 98. Let's go ahead and set up now at 06s on the other side of 3. There is a seller of note here at 3. Can we shake him? We're shaking him as we speak, but he's re-upping his position. We're zigging a little at 3, a little bit below 3. So keep your eye here on SAFX, zigging and zagging to the high side. I only have $1 cost average order that did not fill. It was at 56s. We're above 3 on the ask. We are not above 3 on the bid, so we're still being kept down here. Little zig and zag at the whole dollar level to be expected. So I'm keeping my eye out on that. Simultaneously, I'm keeping my eye out on VYNE. Still got a position on this one. I'm still biased that this one has a 142 flat top break that could be in the making. We're going to pack our patience there. And then last but not least, we're still involved in Poet. Holding a small position on this one, looking for an ad at around 4 mid-90s. We didn't get that, Joseph. Pack my patience.
All right, guys. We got a behind-the-scenes look at Trade the Pool. The dashboard tracks your progress in real time. Live stats, profit, and more. You can break down every trade, see your entry, exit, and how it played out on the chart. Check the certificates page for your full summary, achievement, and payouts. In this clip, that's Michael T. He's already earned over $75,000 in total payouts. Trade the Pool gives you the tools and the capital to go further. Ready to level up?
Yes.
Visit tradethepool.com or scan that QR code on the screen, Sheree.
Okay, here we go. Fives. 5 showing up right now on SAFX. Can we clear it? That's where I'm waiting. I'm waiting at 6s, so that's a mistake. Can we clear 6? Boom! We clear 6. Let's go. What do we got on? We got 62s. We're going to take out my level there at 9s. We're showing 9s on the level 2. There it is again. Now we've got one more out on this one. So we're going to pack my patience here on SAFX. What a big move to the high side. I appreciate you guys, man. We're looking for a 100% winner here on the day. We still don't have one. SAFX looks like it's the candidate that can actually get to that triple digit. Here we go. We are moving up to 15s. I'm going to pack my patience here, guys. And I don't want to let this one off the hook. If this one is going to continue to put in higher highs and higher lows, I need to be adding on the retracements, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to be discerning about it so that I don't punch in willy-nilly. Let's keep an eye out here on SAFX. Simultaneously, that other big winner we had been talking about on the day is flat bottom breaking as we speak right now. NKTR, lower high, lower high, lower high, flat bottom, break to the downside. This one is giving up the ghost. It was well over, I think, 60 some odd percent on the day. Now it's down into 25sville. So be careful with that one if you're trading it. Make sure you are looking to the short side as well. Look at SAFX go, Joseph. This thing is really going right now. It's about to take out the $quarter with a high
really
at 323. So I'm packing my patience on this bad boy. This is a big mover right now. SAFX. Let's see what this one does.
Yeah, bigly. It's moving nice over there, brother. So good luck on that one. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here with Tesla. Still knocking on the door of TSLA 1235. That's going to roughly put us on that support level of around 324.60s. All right, so keep an eye out on that. Maybe we can crack through that, or the market decides that it wants to rally. I do like the indecision that we're starting to print on the Qs here, guys. So maybe we can head back towards that all-time high, or I guess we constructed a new one that is on the Qs. But this is a nice hammer candle. But just know, look at the volume. That's not necessarily something that we want if we're looking for an extreme reversal. So be patient on this name. Maybe we get that move to view up, but we want to see that slow curl over, that rounded bottom type price action, a base formed. You can see that where there's a key support level coming into play, keeps rejecting, and then you look for that continued bounce to the VWAP. I think we'll get there at some point today. But I mentioned, I had that feeling too, that gut feeling this morning. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to construct that all-time high. Pre-market was really strong, but now it's just profit taking. Let's slowly start to pull things back here. And then maybe you get involved. All those investors feeling FOMO, they're like, there's no way off of those Liberation Day lows that within a span of a couple of months, we're going to be putting in a new all-time high on the Nasdaq, considering we were officially in a bear market. And then sure enough, 2 months later, we're now at an all-time high. So it's like, okay, someone flicked the switch really quick on this. Yeah, super quick, and was like boom, boom, boom. So there it is. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Who used to sing that? Oh, remember the band Aqua?
Just did it. We
remember the band Aqua?
Of course.
Yeah, Aqua.
Barbie Girl.
Yeah, but Aqua.
There's a bunch. You like to party.
Is that Aqua does that one there? Yeah. All right, cool, good stuff.
Although it's the Venga Boys.
Is that?
That's Venga Boys.
I wouldn't know, but I remember Aqua.
My memory is not what it used to be.
But yeah, Tesla. Let's see if we can break that 1235. I think there's going to be an opportunity for the short and the continuation to possibly test that low of the day, but we got to be patient. It's more of a slow grind. You have to take into consideration that we're down about 4.3% on the actual underlying. This is a 2x leverage, so that's why we're down double. So just keep an eye on this name. If it does bounce, then hey, who knows? Maybe we get an oversold bounce. We had 2 really weak back-to-back days. Who knows what's going to happen come tomorrow, right? So just keep an open mind. Follow what the price action's telling you. Yeah, the chat. You guys are undefeated.
Adara, if you're gonna sing, you gotta chime in. You can't be singing from the back over there.
Yeah.
People need to be able to hear it. There he is.
Heard and understood. Next time I will sing loudly on the mic.
Ooh, all right, there you go. Apple.
I appreciate it, Dara. Thank you for being a good sport about
very
things.
good
Obviously,
sport.
you know we're joking.
So yeah, there it is. Apple bounce off of that 201.50, now heading back towards VWAP. Is it going to drag the Qs up with it? If it is, then I'm going to look to participate on that front. But Google's starting to sell off of that 172.50 roughly high and back into VWAP. But you know who's bouncing? Guess who's bouncing back right now, Sharif?
Guess who's
the king,
back?
The king of all kings. That is Jensen and Company. 152.13. Whoa, hey, no,
I
what
ain't
was
calling
that?
him the king of all kings, bro.
Who's your?
I'm not going to say here, but it's not Jensen.
You can say it.
No. So I'm going to keep my eye.
This guy.
It ain't another CEO. That's not what I'm trying to get out. Off camera.
Yeah.
Did you have more to say?
No,
okay.
I'm completely done.
SAFX just topped out at 3 1/3, guys. $3.32. Retracing back down now into about 3.15, give or take. Now, this is where I didn't want to add on the move up. I wanted to add on a technical level. So the first technical level that I see, obviously, is going to be that $3 area. That's psychological support. Below $3, I'm looking at the 10 exponential. That's at currently 284. Obviously, it's a dynamic level. By the time we get down, it may be somewhere else. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Below the 10 exponential is the volume weighted average price, which is around 273. So I'm not going to be punching in at a random area. I get it. The micro pullbacks are, an excellent area to get in on one of these. And full disclosure, I've adjusted my trading setup so that I can try to identify these micro pullbacks using a 10 or 5 second chart that I'm putting on my top screen there. The idea here to use such a low time frame is to see when the pullback has sort of bottomed. Right? The idea here is you can see the same thing on the time and sales and the same thing on the level 2, but it's something that I can reference back to see, okay, well, it bottomed out here. When it's gone on the level 2, it's gone on the level 2. You can't really see it. So I've been employing that method. I put it on my top screen. You can use the 5 second chart, the 10 second chart. The idea is just to be able to see where the micro pullback is so you can punch long. So that's what I'm trying to do right now with these small cap gappers, SAFX included in that kind of situation. So Joseph, we got up to 332. We're down into 320. I'm not going to punch in until we get to a good technical level, and we still haven't gotten one. So I'm going to pack my patience on that. So that's my look there. Shout out to Mike James. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out to Mike James. VYNE, the other one that I've been involved in for a hot minute, and it keeps rejecting at 141. Now I am concerned. Let me make my case as to why I'm concerned and maybe considering getting out. We had a 142 area rejection, okay? So look at all these candles here that couldn't close above 142, save and except for this one over here at 1135, and then look what happened after that. It tanked. So now we're rejecting 141. What the hell does that mean? It means that the big boy seller, short seller, profit taker, whoever the hell he is, was selling at 142. Now he's selling at 141, and he's clearly got a bigger position here because he's keeping this bad boy from ascending for now almost 20 minutes, 4 or 5 minute candles. So I am a little concerned about this one. I don't know how to get in, not how to get in. I don't know. I'm deciding whether I want to continue to wait for a flat top break through that 145 or what my situation is going to be with this one. When I decide, obviously, I'll tell you guys quickly. Joseph, SAFX coming back into 3. This is the first technical level we talked about. $3 whole dollar level. Let's see if 3 holds. If 3 doesn't hold, I'm looking at the 10 exponential. That's around 2 low 80s. So the first technical level for me on SAFX as support, $3. Let's see what we get with this one. Joseph.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Tesla, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like the long here potentially, but we'll hold on to this until we break through the volume weighted average. Actually, no, sorry. Well, as soon as we get a little bit above this resistance zone, I'll just hop out. Really small shares right here. But Adara, what do you got for us?
Here in BP, Shell now apparently saying that no talks are taking place with BP. Previously, they were pretty, I guess, evasive. They just said, oh, we're going to continue to work on our model, our strategy. Now they're apparently actively denying that any talks are taking place with BP. Also, Trump posted on Truth Social, again, nothing market related, but always worth noting, a new post from Donald Trump. Sometimes these can give a little bit of a jolt to the market. Then we have INTC as well, confirming to TechCrunch that they do plan to wind down their auto business. Mobileye could be on watch with this as well. Of course, that is a company that INTC is involved with, and as you can see, a little bit of a spike to the downside when this came out. So INTC, BP, and MBLY on watch. Back to you.
So, sometimes we execute well and sometimes we don't. And when I don't, I want to point it out just in the same way that I point out when I do execute well. Let's show my mistake here. And this is a very clear mistake. I yelled to the top of my lungs about $3 being the first technical level. And I'm sorry, but is this a $3 on the penny? This bottoming tail candle over here that ended up closing red, mind you, defended $3 to the penny. So I am disappointed with how I didn't execute on this one. I should have been punching in at 3. I didn't. That's on me. I'll look to do better. But, it may not even hold above 3, but that's not the point. The point is these ones are around for a good time, not a long time. So if it gives you 3 and then it pops up into 3.25, you could have 25 pennies on a $3 name and quicker than, Joseph can tell us how cold he is. You see what I'm saying? So the point, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't even know why that was the one.
I think, I'm going to be honest with you, Neo might be a little bit more cold.
Yeah, Neo. Katina, man, are you cold over there?
Always warm.
He's always warm. He runs hot like myself.
He's hot, man.
Yeah, so, Oh, it comes from the heart. His heart is so warm. He's so kind.
Hold on. You hear this?
Oh, I don't know, an error message or something like that. I don't know. Joey's trying to troll you, right? No, seriously though. The point is, SAFX, it gave you 25 pennies super quick. I didn't have it. That's a mistake on me. I should be doing better. I just want to point that out, and I'm going to call myself out. That way it'll motivate me not to do it again in front of you guys next time. So $3 was a level. I missed it. We'll keep an eye out on that one. Shout out to DDT, baby. DDT, yeah, you know me. Digressing, obviously.
Yeah, you were about to say Diamond Dallas Page. I knew you were getting at.
Who is your favorite? Okay, no. What's your favorite wrestling finishing move? This should be a good one. I think we can have a lot of opinions.
You know what? This is a sneaker here. The scissor kick by Booker T.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a sick one.
You got to go
with
with
the back of the head.
Yeah, on the back of the head there, and then you got to go with the classic spear as well too.
Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg spear. Yeah,
the simplest of the moves, but
the most deadly.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very damaging.
Roman Reigns does a spear as well.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Rhino had a good spear as well too. Remember Rhino?
Okay.
And then the classic choke slam. You got to go with the choke slam.
The
you know what I mean?
taker.
Oh, the
Do you remember
pedigree
old
is good
school?
too. Yeah, the pedigree is
good.
pretty
Pedigree's
dangerous too. Yeah.
I like the exciting ones, like the Stone Cold Stunner or the what's it called?
The
What
stunner?
does Randy Orton do? His is the RKO.
Oh, yeah, the RKO. Yeah, the
'Cause he can
RKO.
come out of nowhere. You see him RKO his wife into the pool.
No, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what we used to do, right? You would do RKO someone in the pool or something like that.
Good time.
Yeah.
So I think that the simple one would be like a Stone Cold Stunner or an RKO. But if you want to go like something old school, like Razor's Edge.
Razor's Edge.
Yeah, which was like a power bomb on top of his head.
The power bomb's a good one too.
Power bomb's
yeah.
bro. Power bomb. My cousin caught enough power bombs.
Oh man, I'll never forget the one wrestling match me and my friends had in my backyard, and I used to have a picnic table.
Okay.
And my buddy's older brother decided to pedigree him off the picnic table. The stuff we used to do, it was absolutely wild. Yeah, it was not.
Did he end up at the hospital?
No, he was down though. He was down for a while. Yeah, the 5-star frog splash is pretty good.
What do you guys? Socko, that's a good one, Joey Boy 007. I like that one, man. Socko was an animal.
What's up? Yeah, I was gonna say someone. Yeah, Rishiki's move.
Oh, Rikishi.
Yeah.
Rikishi, where you like
Rafiki.
stick his butt in your face. That was lovely.
Crazy.
That was lovely. If we
Goldust.
would get dinged by YouTube, I'd show it. 420 Bud Monster. How can you forget the people's elbow?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, well, it's the lead up to it.
It sucks,
he puts you up on the canvas. He throws your arm in. He brings your arm in with the other leg.
Throw the thing off. It's like
the elbow pad.
It's like, come on, man. You know how much time I had to recover right there?
Yeah, I know. Straight up, it's like, yeah, I'm good to go now, bro. No, I like that. The Katina Man, the Frog Splash by rest in peace, obviously Eddie Guerrero.
No, that was by what's his
5-star flock?
Was that Eddie Guerrero? Okay, yeah.
I saw him, man. I saw him.
Because I was thinking Rob Van Dam. Bro.
Yeah. No, that's
Damn, he had something.
That's what was it called? What was Rob Van Dam's? Was it the same 5-star?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That 5-star was
okay.
from Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, I guess maybe the OG of it is Eddie G, right? Latino Heat. I remember they used to call him Latino
Heat. You know what's funny? When I used to have my dreadlocks way back in school.
Hold on. You got dreads?
I had, but in high school, in high school, like down to here. Yeah. My hair was long. I don't know. I have to find them. But they used to call me Carlito Caribbean Cool. Remember that guy?
Yeah. That's not cool.
Carly, that's not cool. Yeah, Carlito
Good
Caribbean
times,
Cool. Yeah,
good
man,
times.
crazy.
Sharpshooter. Okay, my cousin caught more sharpshooters than he did any other move, especially growing up as a Canadian. I mean, Bret Hart was like up here for most kids, the ones that watched wrestling anyway. So definitely put up a lot of sharpshooters there. What else we got? We got the Batista Bomb, says Guap10. Absolutely. I will look at QuantumScape in one hot second. Joey's going to do something here, and then I'll look at QS.
All right, guys. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NISE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. I might have to actually. I might have to schedule that meeting, to be honest.
The Tombstone. How could we forget the Tombstone?
Yeah.
Especially the older.
That's so dangerous, man.
It is, because if he catches the head on. But Taker was super, I think, professional. He'd lock your head in.
In between his knees.
Still. The old school version of that, though, where you had Paul Bear like raise up the Tombstone.
Yeah.
And
Paul
like
Bear,
in his like white paint.
That guy's like Randall from Recess, just a pure rat.
He was interesting.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Nimrod. Shout out to my man Nimrod from Israel. What's up with the graphs that stay at the same levels for long? Like VYNE in the past hour. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm involved in it. Where they stay on the same price level for a long time. Is it an algo? What's up with these tickers? That's a great question. So my assumption is when you see stuff like this, you are getting a seller who's unloading their position at that level. But we've seen this before, Nimrod, where basically we were rejecting 42s. We had more liquidity at these times. That's why you got these pops up into 44 and 45. But look at the closing candles. They all kind of close at that $1.42. And so I'm assuming that this person has lowered their selling price from a $1.42 down to a $1.41 because we're locked in from 12:15. We're almost half an hour. It just popped up. You saw that? It took a $1.42. It took a $1.43. So, you know, there are going to be these outlying events. Now, did I get any prints on that? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, I did. I got 42s. I just got printed there right now. So let's see if this one continues to move up. Good observation. Hard to know whether it's actually an algorithm or just a sell order that's just waiting there. My suspicion is usually most of these large positions are algorithms. Very few actually, you know, live traders behind these, but, you know, impossible to know. So I'm waiting on this one. I'm involved in this one, Nimrod, at a $1.35. We've got decent, well, we took a lot of shares, so we've got a little bit here left, not that much, but showing me a $1.43. I'm going to wet the beak at a $1.43. Why the hell not? We're going to take some profits there if we can. So I'm keeping my eye on that. I've said very little about Poet lately because it's been locked in to that $5 area. I am kind of concerned about Poet. The reason is we're putting in umpteen amount of lower highs, and we have been essentially since 11:50. So it's almost an hour now of lower highs. That's the bad side. The good side is we're still above 5. It's almost an hour now. We've been defending that $5 level, pardon me, from the top side. So let's see which way this cookie crumbles. I'm involved in it. Where am I at? I'm long at 99s. You know, we don't really have a big position on this one, full disclosure, because we didn't get the dollar cost average ad there at 490 that I wanted. So that one is a bigger position, waiting at 490 there. So if it does dip in, we'll have a bigger position on this one, but for the moment we don't. So packing my patience on that. SAFX is zigging and zagging. It probably got a lot of people stopped out there, okay? And I'm sorry if that happened to you. But there was clearly a seller at 3.25. This thing pops up aggressively above 3.25, 339, and now it's dropping back down, defending 3. It's a candle of indecision with equidistant upper and lower wicks, and you know, a decent sized body. Let's see if it defends that $3 area. $3 now almost the 10 exponential. So you've got the whole psychological area support at the whole dollar level, and then getting close to it is the 10 EMA. So if there are algos basing their entries and exits off the EMA, boom to the high side on VYNE. It just took out all my orders. There we go. Layer your orders, people. There you go, Nimrod. You just need to complain about these stocks. We've seen the Katina man do that before. He complains and they print. So we just popped up there into the high of the day at a $1.50. Let's see if that seller at 142 that was keeping us down to no end is going to be Gonzino now. So VYNE up into that high of day. We don't take the high of day print. We only take 46s because we didn't layer all our orders. That's another mistake on me. I'll look to do better next time. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, I got a super chat here from our guy Nimrod. I suggest a new donation challenge. If we get X donations, Joe must share his Rastafarian alter ego. Yeah, for sure. I have no issue showing that. I'll have to dig back into the teens. It's not even teens. I promise you, it's not. I promise you. I swear. Yeah. I wish. That is multiple phones ago. I mean, I cut my hair back in like
where
2008.
a text message can be sent to grandma.
To grandma?
Where grandma may or may not have that picture on her phone.
Well, the bad part about that is grandma is unfortunately not that technologically inclined, right? So yeah. We're past that stage here, yeah. I'm lucky to get a text, right? Like if the text comes without any spelling errors or anything like that, then I think we've had a successful day. But yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll get those pictures for you guys, but I think I cut my hair in like 2008 or 9 or something along those lines. So yeah, I had that for a while. Good stuff, but we're long the queues. Let's see if we can continue this breakdown here in Tesla. I told you 1235. It's going to be one of those primary targets a little bit south of that specific level there. And then if I'm seeing multiple indecision prints at the lows here on the queues, so we're just going to start a starter position right here just for a potential bounce. We are quite extended off the volume-weighted average price, so you can see the majority of the volume is done up here. That's why we're not hugging drastically tighter. So we'll be patient on this front. I do suspect there's going to be a little bit more downside, but we have the ability, because we're sized correctly, to hold a little bit more, and then if we slowly start to curl over, break through some key resistance zones, and then maybe we can add to this position and look for that retracement all the way back towards the volume-weighted average price. So yeah, we'll get those pictures.
See, the media is giving Donald Trump a hard time now on the Iran attacks, saying that he didn't actually do anything to just set him a few months back, and like he feeds into the narrative. I don't get it.
Right.
It's just don't give him fuel. So it's like he's blaming the New York Times and CNN for demeaning. Look what he got. We just caught failing New York Times working with fake CNN, cheating again. They tried to demean the great work of our B-2 pilots, and they were wrong in doing so. These reporters are just bad and sick people. You would think they would be proud of the great success we had instead of trying to always make our country look bad. Total obliteration. So to me, I know, right? Like, come on,
total
Donald.
obliteration.
What I
man.
love about it is that he just will not let things go. Even when it makes sense to let the narrative die, he's not going to do that.
No,
he needs to take on all comers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure,
Like,
man.
the
And
person
no
who's
one,
never backed
no
down.
one gets a pass. There's no
So
one.
funny, man. He makes me.
He wants all the smoke at all times.
So funny.
There you go. We've seen an aggressive move here down on the Qs, guys, and the volume's slightly starting to pick up. But let's see how this candle prints. I mentioned a liquidity grab possibly coming in here. So yeah, just keep an eye out on that, guys. If it doesn't want to rebound and we decide to tank a little bit more, then we'll just have to hop out of that trade. No worries. Yeah, we're gonna go off to Adara.
So for 1 year, this is the market, of course, the QQQs. I bring this up because we do have the 5-year note auction coming up. It'll be in around 12 to 13 minutes here. Fed currently, apparently these bids for the notes are around a total of $7 billion. I don't have the yield like right before the auction, so I'll let you guys know. But we're gonna have to wait and see because as Sharif always says, what's gonna matter the most here is not the previous yield. It's gonna matter what it is right before the auction. Again, sometimes these are not market moving, but it's worth noting regardless. And before we send you back to the guys, I wanna take a moment to show off our brand new infographic on X at TTV Research. This is Micron's annual revenue. They're reporting earnings tonight. You can check out those earnings with Neil and myself after the bell. Yeah, just fun little facts about, I guess, the company's ebbing and flowing revenue. And this revenue is wild, guys. I fact-checked this, too. We go from $30 billion in annual revenue to $15 billion in annual revenue. This thing is very much a seesaw. Check it out on X at TTV Research if you want more details ahead of the report. Back to you.
Ooh. I thought you had something to show.
Oh,
me
no,
there.
I was just looking at my
bailing?
blotter there, yeah. Because Arsenal is trying to pick up a couple of new strikers.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah. So we still haven't gotten the word which one. There's two. There's this Gyökeres guy, plays in Portugal, and then there's this other guy, Sesko, plays in the Bundesliga. And
Bundesliga?
Which is Germany, sorry.
Okay, yeah,
I know, a little bit,
yeah.
Now, if you had to make a straight comparison, I know it's not the same thing in North American sports, obviously, because we don't have different leagues.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make a comparison between which leagues are more similar, Germany and England would be a lot closer than, say, Portugal.
Yeah. I like Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger, yeah, he played for Bayern Munich. I think went to the MLS a little bit.
When he was on it when Germany won the World Cup. Or something. I like that. That was a good spot there. What is going on here?
Yeah, she's like basically having
like
with all your chargers over there, dude.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Ram.
She's got all of her devices charging here on other people's. This is crazy. All right.
She takes liberty.
Yeah. There it is. Here we go, guys. Get back into these markets here. The Qs is taking an additional leg lower. Tesla's still hovering around. I mean, it may be short-term oversold here if you guys want to check out the RSI, but that's a big-time move to the downside here in the Nasdaq. So you construct that all-time high, and then boom, you're starting to pull back a little bit here. So there you go. There's Ramin. Fabian's got her. Yeah, she's nice and cozy. She's got her blanket on there. That's what I need. One of those Snuggies. I need one of those for in the winter. I'm definitely going to be getting one of those for my chair. But yeah, this is what we got going on. Let's see if we can get this bounce. I mentioned multiple indecision here, and this is kind of essentially what we're basing this trade off of. This could be a liquidity grab, and then now maybe we can make that move higher, and then hopefully get that retracement all the way back to VWAP, considering we are slightly extended there, Sharif. So that is my game plan right now, and I'm also kind of short Tesla, which is I'm going against myself a little bit here. But if one works out, we'll look to size in for sure.
I'm really rich.
Ooh.
Yes, get it, Donald. All right. I really have nothing to talk about, guys. Just the positions that I've got currently on. I'm sorry, they're not very exciting. But SAFX, we still have some of this? Yeah, we do, actually, believe it or not. I was letting this one go. Okay. Well, it's coming back down now, so I'm going to pack my patience on this one. I want to add at VWAP. I've got a little bit left here on SAFX, and by a little bit, I mean like one out left, okay? So what I'm going to do is pack my patience here for that 284 touch. So it just lost 3. And it's got 3 red candles in a row now, with the topping tail candle that we saw right at 1240 being the kind of the catalyst for the sell-off. So we lost $3. All right, so that's the first area of technical support that we just lost there. We haven't lost it on a closing basis because this candle still has 3 more minutes to close. But here comes VWAP. The volume weighted average price is at around 284. Okay, so is this ad time here? Oh boy, these decisions, SAFX. Okay, so this is ad time here for the volume weighted average price. Look, if it loses VWAP, I'm out. I'm gonna punch in here. We're still holding from 62, so we're south of VWAP on our entry. I'm gonna punch in here at 80s. Let's go ahead and weasel in. And if it loses VWAP, it loses VWAP. It's that simple. We'll give back a little bit on this, okay? So boom, now we're in. What do we got now? So we got 82s. Okay, fine. Let's set up at 92s for a possible beak wetter there. And then we'll set up as well at 98. Seller at 90. You can see that. Preventing this one from ascending. Look at the selling here at 90. That's not a good look. And they're adding to their positions. Keep there. Okay, so we just took them out at 90, 91. Can we pop back up? No. So the selling's quite aggressive into that volume weighted average price. So we got 82s on at the moment, looking for a move into 92s. That seller at 90s back. You can kind of see that, and didn't cross either on the bid. On the pop-up. So pops up on the ask, but not on the bid. So the seller is still there. Can't shake them. So we'll keep an eye here on SAFX. I don't know what you're doing there.
Can't shake them.
Yeah. We'll see if we lose that bid. So what's my out on this one? It's going to be the breach of 75. So let's go ahead and throw that on there right now. And we're going to go with that level. And we're going to give it down to a little bit lower in case this one really does lose the bid. So it is below VWAP right now. So we will lose on the ad currently if it does pop down below 75. So keep your eye on SAFX. I'm looking for it to defend VWAP and pop back up. But who knows what this ends up doing. These ones are around for a good time, guys, not necessarily a long time. So be careful with these. All right, so keep that one. I've already put in my stop, my profit taker. So come what may from this one. VYNE popped up into $1.50, but right back down below that $1.42 level that we had been dealing with before. So the liquidity pops up and pops back down. That's a liquidity grab there if I've ever seen one. We don't get those 2 top prints that still are unfilled at the moment. So we'll pack our patience there. And then last but not least, POET, Poet. Very consolidative, looks very bull flag-esque. I won't be adding to this one unless it dips down into my entry level there in the 4 low 90s. But it hasn't made it down there in quite some time. So I'm starting to think maybe that ain't the move. So packing my patience on VYNE, SAFX. Let's see which way this cookie crumbles, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there, guys. All right, so yeah, we're just chopping around here in Tesla below the volume weighted average price, but we added a little bit of size here onto this TQs for a potential bounce and maybe a reversion out of taking a page out of Obi's book here back towards VWAP, and I think that's going to be the game plan. Pardon me?
The mic. Fix the mic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I was just scratching my back there. All right, so yeah, that's what we got going on here. What? I can't scratch my back.
I don't know. Ram laughed.
I don't know. All right. Yeah, too much hair on it. Yeah.
Katina Man was not happy that Joseph and I were talking about like shaving. He mentioned it yesterday. He's like, have you watched the midday show lately? Like he was saying it to Neil.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, do you know what these idiots are talking about? And like in that kind of. Like
I believe it.
Where did that come up?
Yeah. The Katina Man who you want to understand why the hell we were talking about.
Well,
that,
because
that makes sense.
It's because Katina Man was scrolling through your Instagram and you were tarp off everywhere.
Tarp off. I have 2 pictures on there that are tarp off. One's a video.
It's still tarp off everywhere.
It's like, what a picture.
What do you got to say, Katina?
Yeah, look at
No, nothing. I was just commenting. I mean, we've been calling this the bro show. I think the content on the midday show, I mean, it doesn't always have to be about trading and the stuff that we sort of do on the open show. I like it. I was just commenting to Neil because I was talking about shaved chests, and Neil looked at me like I was like speaking Spanish or something.
Oh boy.
And I said, no, the midday show where it was talking all about that, and then I was showing Sharif's OnlyFans page, and that went.
Wow!
Have you guys banned Big Kyle?
That out, man.
Where's Big Spile? By the way?
Where's
I don't
Big
know,
Spile,
man. He's probably going to chime in now that you
Sharif,
brought
I
this
think,
up.
to be honest,
Katina, he listens to us in his ear even when he's on the job.
good.
Right?
Well, what's up, Kyle?
I'll be honest, Sharif.
All right, I'm out of here.
I think you would get some good followers if you did
Stop, Joe,
if you sign up on the OF. You know what I mean?
Give me a break.
You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, like
Wow,
I mean, like you can get that. You can catch that third stream of income, and it could be a pretty good one, man.
Bro. I'm not catching
You can join the Bop House too.
I've made my bet. My bets are on Trader TV and on my family business. That's it. Those are the bets that
You
are
never
made.
thought of expanding? Hey, just be a business.
Stop trying to sark everyone, Joe. Why do we keep trying to make bets? I am so confused. We are not playing pool. All in good fun, but I'm not going to bet a booster juice on your guys' bet. What is happening?
Get him, Adara. Yes. Katina's coming in. He's
With pool?
Adara?
Oh,
No, we don't
Katina, man, you weren't involved. So once Joe took my money, he also
took mine
tried
also,
to
by the
take
way.
Adara's money as well.
Ah.
I told her not to do it, but she wasn't going to do it anyway. Right? Yeah.
What was the bet, though? What was it going to
He
be?
tried to get a booster juice out of it.
Oh, but
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was the bet, though?
No, because
What was the bet?
No, it was
Here's
based
what the bet
off.
was. So basically, if you won, so what happened was Bitcoin had made a new all-time high, and I said congrats to Sharif. It was like a week before your birthday. And then Joe said, oh, well, Adara, if you're going to do that, then why don't you actually take the side? And then you get in on the bet, and you're betting for Sharif. And I said, I don't take bets on bets because I saw how that worked with the housing crisis because I've seen the Big Short.
I love it.
Housing crisis. Wow, this got deep real quick.
I know, right? Yeah, man. She doesn't
Really
mess
deep.
around.
No, I heard something.
She doesn't
I
mess
thought there was
around.
a thing involving pool, like playing pool for some reason. No. So I was just going to say, like, I'll be Dara's partner, and we'll face Joe and anybody he wants.
No. I don't want any of that pool smoke. I don't want any of that pool
Hold
smoke.
on, why not?
Yeah, because I'm not good at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nor am I. Nor am I.
No, but that's
We're here
what
for the
Katina
action.
Man said.
We're here for the action.
No, time out. Katina Man's like, yeah, I haven't played in a while. Oh, boom. First bowling, next at bowling. I'm like, yeah, you're a shark, man.
Yeah, but I really haven't
And
played in at
everybody.
least 5 years,
Everybody.
honestly. But bowling, we could do bowling.
This
We could
is
do
sick,
bowling.
dude.
Yeah, we could do bowling.
Yeah,
could do
I wouldn't
bowling.
mind doing that. We could have a
We
Trader
do bowling.
TV
That's what
off
I'm
or
thinking,
something
man. We
like
had
that.
that
That makes
JT
sense,
Trader
Katina, man.
yesterday drop 5 bills.
Or we could do mini put as well, too.
Oh, and by the way, Sharif, we are looking for some extra revenue. So Sharif OnlyFans
Sharif's
coming live
OnlyFans.
to you potentially next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the something about
$4.99.
Egyptian, the
$4.99.
Egyptian shirtless
a month.
wonder, something like that.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like
Trading
it.
fans.
I would. Hey, man.
Only trading fans.
Hey, I would recommend.
know.
I would promote your OF for
Look,
you.
bro.
Yeah, man,
look,
we got followers.
I'll
We can get
open
this
an
going.
OF, but you
Yeah.
gotta open up a pie eating like Instagram channel where
It's
all
done.
you do is eat pies all the time
No, but-
and cookies.
For every video you drop on OF, I'll eat a pie. That's fair.
Dude,
Live streaming Joe eting a pie.
Yeah, there you go.
Which okay, let's Joe, if you had to eat any kind of pie,
Yeah.
and let's keep this PG. What flavor? We'll let that sit in there for a minute.
oh boy.
I think I would go.
Like when I
Apple.
basically, I kind of there's actually nobody like gatekeeping anything that I say. That's the whole thing, right? So it's like
Isn't that what's beautiful about working here? Because we
Yes.
really do have the freedom to say what we want.
if you build it, they will come.
yeah.
But no, I you know, it's true. I mean, this is what we're doing live. But no, seriously, Joe, I think would you be blueberry-ish? Like
No,
what
I'm not. I don't like blueberries. I would go apple.
apple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
you
go.
like apple.
Yeah.
There may be an apple pie coming at some point. I'm out of here.
This is fantastic. Guys, what you just saw right now between the Katina Man, Joe, Adara, myself, this is going to be the regular once we set up Studio 8 over here because we're all going to be on literally live at the same time. There's a Chilean Nightmare,
There he
baby.
is.
He's going to be on as well. Where's Ram Ram at? Put Ram Ram on.
Put Ram Ram on.
There she is. Well, you can't see her quite yet, yeah, but. And there's Assassino. Obviously, that's Andre, guys, by the way.
Yeah, the
In
Brazilian.
case you're wondering. There it is. Show Ram Ram.
There it is. Zoom in
There's
there.
her like 10 monitor setup. Ram Ram, you better hide whatever
sure
you're
she's
looking at
working.
over there in case.
She's
you
working.
know.
Oh,
There she is. Ah, get it, Ram Ram.
There
We're having
you
a
go.
good time here, guys. I hope you guys are having some fun with us today. It's been a good day on these markets. You know, the markets are kind of flat here. Joseph, the ES a little bit up.
Yep.
Sorry, a little bit down. The NQ a little bit up. The Dow and the Russell both down. And we're going
Oh
to
wow!
Adara.
Look
She's
at
got-
NVDA.
I really have news, but I have an update here for this bond auction. I don't see the results yet, but I did say I'd tell you guys the yield ahead of the auction. It's coming in at 3.874% for that 5-year auction. If this auction is notable, if we get it in, it's notably lower or higher than this yield of 3.874%. Before the auction, of course, I'll let you guys know. Back to you.
Guys, I want to point out, we're going to talk about when we do and when we don't. I got stopped out of my SAFX ad, so we added over here on the dip into VWAP, and we lost about 10 cents per share on that one. Still very positive on SAFX. It's my best name on the day, but the ad did not work. It did not hold up at the volume-weighted average price, so I'm not going to dollar cost average into this. It's not one of those ones where you can do that because this thing can literally retrace the entire thing, and it can be shut down quick as you like. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. SAFX, it's still I want to say the biggest or the best winner on the day. Yeah, even though it's below VWAP right now, so it is losing some of its technical support. We'll keep an eye out on that. Simultaneously, Poet popped up into $5.10, $5.10 and a half. So it almost comes into 5.11 to test that previous area high. So this could be a bit of a double top. I'll look for a neckline break, maybe through 495. I'm still going to add at around that level, with VWAP now being just a little bit below 490 at around 486, 487. Somewhere in and around that on Poet. So not much happening at the moment, guys, with these small caps, but we will keep an eye on all of them. And if you have any new ones, throw them my way. Now, I did promise somebody that I would be looking at QuantumScape. Now, QuantumScape brings back shades of the pandemic because this is when it was doing stuff like this. Let's go to the weekly because it's been a hot minute since the pandemic. Yes, this is real, okay? This is absolutely real. It was $5. And then it was $140, give or take, and now it's trading at $5 again. This company, in case you don't know, they are basically trying to make, from my understanding, ceramic batteries that, you know, don't degrade as quickly, can charge faster, et cetera, et cetera. So, what? Brother, yeah, it's really ugly, Fabian. I mean, it's as ugly as it gets on this one, but that's a gold standard in these solid state batteries that they're trying to make, but it's a science experiment until they can, you know, make money off it. So at the moment, this is the trend, QuantumScape.
Sorry to interrupt you here, Sharif. Yeah. So Amazon, sorry to trip over my words there. I was thinking about something else. I won't talk about it. But we're going to drop the OnlyFans talk there. Put it in the chat. Would you subscribe, yes or no, to Sharif's OnlyFans? But anyways, there we go. It's very important. There we go. Amazon moving to the downside. Hold on. Wait, is it the big smile thing that you're reading?
But and you, bro. What is this? I'm not making it home.
Hey, but what if the demand is there?
I don't care, Joseph.
All right.
My mom is still alive.
Yeah. All right, sorry, Miss Cobra. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll have to come up with an alias. But Spot. Yeah, we want. All right, I want to talk about Amazon. We have a super chat that we do need to cover. I got to read it first because you guys know who it's probably from. I heard the smile. Okay, it's not so bad. Big smile, $5 super chat. I heard the chest shaving did the Egyptian hairless meow meow secure a new sponsorship. Yeah, there we go. On the show, sponsored by Blue Chew and OnlyFans. There we go. There it is. There's demand. And you're getting a lot of yeses.
What am I gonna do with this guy, bro?
Yeah.
He's an absolute liability,
Monster.
but I love him. He's hilarious. I hope nobody's taking everything too seriously.
No, it's all literally all fun and games here.
Sure.
But yeah, Amazon really holding the market up. Someone in the chat did mention that NVDA. I think we are going to see all-time highs by the end of the day, and even potentially 154 in the works. So that would be a breach of the previous all-time high, and then now we'll construct a new one. If Amazon decides to bounce here in the likes of Microsoft, watch out for the market and that retracement back to the volume-weighted average price, and that's our game plan on this one. Once these two names decide that they want to pull back and stop selling aggressively, I think we're going to be positioned relatively.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'm not really. I was keeping an eye here on SAFX because it did try to work back above the volume-weighted average price. It's got a bottoming tail hammer candle that just closed. The 1 o'clock candle. So we're currently, the 1 o'clock candle that closed at 105, it's 106 right now. So the current candle has a higher low and could have and does, in fact, have a higher high. It's still trading technically below the volume-weighted average price. So I don't want to give any back anymore on SAFX. So unless SAFX really starts breaking above $3 aggressively in the same way that it was at around, noon, I'm not going to get involved, okay? I don't want to give anything back on this one. It's my best winner on the day. No point in overstaying my welcome on this name. So unless and until it does set up above $3, we're going to steer clear of this one. What do we got over here? Oh boy. Mr. Love Shack. Bro, what is happening? No, that's not gonna happen. I'm not even reading that, Mr. Love Shack. You're too much. Sonny, Ain, Joey, Sharif, did Circle close the FVG on the daily? What is FVG standing for again? On the daily and ready to bounce back up? What is FVG?
I have no
Future,
idea.
I don't know what FVG means. So just tag me. Let me know what you mean by that so that I can kind of have a look. We can ask chat.
There's a super chat for you there as well, too.
FVG mean in trading? Let's find out if chat knows. Fair value gap.
Oh, okay.
That's not a standard that I use at all. I think that's more of a fundamental look there. So I have no idea how to use fair value gap. I just want to make that very clear, Sonny. So I can't really answer that question. What is this, Joseph? Oh, man. That I can absolutely do.
Now you're behind it.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Trump's tariffs. Only if Sharif dressed as He-Man, I would drop the bills.
By the power of Grayskull.
There you go. Oh, that would be very interesting. There you go. You're going to be wearing all this too there. Everything there. That is crazy.
You know Blanca, right?
No.
From Street Fighter. The green guy.
No.
The Brazilian green guy. Yeah, man. Assassino's going to be very upset about this.
Assassino's guy, yeah.
I dressed up as Blanca one year. Let's see if I can put it up. Yeah, Assassino was a good one. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it over here. We'll use the AI search. Blanca. Blanka. Does it know what Blanca is? No. Maybe if I type in green.
Green.
Yeah, let's. Well, anyway, I'll be able to find it. So I dressed up as Blanca one year for Halloween. Remember music? Nightclub music?
Yeah, the music.
Yeah, went there, and it was a scene,
crazy,
man.
eh?
It was one of my favorite costumes. I had to paint my entire body green, then I had to get the orange chest hair. Anyway, I'll find it. I'll put it up.
So you're looking like Leonidas from 300 there.
No, man, nothing like Leonidas. He's Blanca. Like I know you don't know what he looks like, but I'll find it in a second. I think I had it on my Facebook.
Weird effect that we got going on here, guys. So I mentioned that Amazon and Microsoft were selling fairly aggressively here, but now that's kind of rotated, and then Apple's starting to sell relatively heavy, heading towards some key support levels, and the volume is slowly starting to stair step as well too. So I got to be cautious on this. If Apple decides that it wants to rain on the parade any bit more, then that's not going to be good for my TQs trade. So you can see the volume really start to. So you got two stair steps right there, and then we're considerably we're heading towards that low here. So that's not a good sign in the overall market. So hopefully Microsoft and the push that we might display here in NVDA and a rebound in Amazon will be able to hold the Qs up. But what Apple's displaying right now is relatively weak and not a good sign. But I'm going to, did you find it or no? I'm going to just break this down, right? Like we go through the phases of, all right, this stock's not very good. There's a lot of bad news circling around it. We know that Apple is heavily affected by the tariffs, et cetera, with iPhone production in China. But again, I do believe just because they have so much cash, we talk about it all the time, they don't have to go into the debt market or anything along those lines. This will drastically affect margins, obviously, but just take into consideration, this is Apple. These guys had over $100 billion of cash, of free cash flow. So it's only a matter of time. I think grabbing this name, even if you get to the 90s, if it decides to break down or anything along those lines, I think it's still a buy because Apple will rebound. Are they lacking in innovation? Absolutely, but they'll figure it out. Hopefully they get this Siri move right. When we seen at WWDC, they set the bar relatively low, and that's what we wanted to see. The previous year, they set it too high. They failed, miscalculated. It was not good on the Apple Intelligence release. But now that they set that bar relatively low, I think there's some positive news and some being forward-looking. I think Apple will rebound and eventually head towards that all-time high. So
this is how it was.
How old were you here?
This is 2009. Hence why the picture is so crappy. So like, look at the hair there, hair here, right?
That's
and then
crazy.
there's actually ankle chains. You can't see it because the picture's just so bad. Look at the hair on the arms, and the hair on the chest. This is actually a World of Warcraft
It's a mask.
mask.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
that's
find
it.
a Blanca mask.
But
no
that
matter
still
how much I tried.
that still looks pretty good.
Exactly,
though.
because it's got the orange hair, but Blanca doesn't have like huge fangs.
Did you catch a lot of love for it too? Did people know what you were?
Oh yeah, everybody
Yeah.
knew what I was. Yeah. It was interesting. That
I lacked creativity in my Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
I would literally just go as Allen Iverson every year.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Is Blanca green or yellow? I don't know. I think
From
he's
what
green.
from what I've just seen there, he's green.
Neil says he's obviously green. There was a second version, says Assassino. Let me have a look. Let's show the pictures here, Assassino. There we go. So there's like this light green version that I guess you could say. The second version was white. No way. Okay, I've never seen that. I've only seen the green version. But then again, I mean, I didn't get too into it. But where?
Is that yellow or green?
This is literally from Street Fighter 2. That's literally from Street Fighter. You can tell it's pixelated, right? Like it's super pixelated.
It comes from that era.
It comes from that era. That does make sense. Yeah.
That's a tough debate to get into because remember that one? Remember when everyone was going crazy about that dress? It was like, is it silver or blue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that thing? Is it tennis ball yellow or green? Green, no?
I'd say green. I'd say green. But then here's the thing.
crazy.
How do I know that you're
lime.
seeing the same color that
That
I'm
I'm
seeing?
seeing.
Like, how do we both know that we're seeing the same thing?
Well, let's build it.
Philosophy. You're getting into philosophy.
Let's go through a sample set here. What color is it?
Yeah, for sure.
What
Even
color
if
is
it's
this?
different.
What color is this here?
Obviously,
That's blue,
talking
right?
about- yeah.
Yeah, so that's black, right? So there we go. We've
I'm
built
not
two.
talking about the fact that it's blue, but what shades do you
Shades.
see? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
That's what
that's
I'm
fair.
talking
Yeah,
about
that's
there.
fair.
In any event, we're digressing. But yeah, obviously, I think he's green. That's
All
just
this
my
laughing made me. I'm thirsty now. A little bit parched.
Okay, Big Style just sent me. Oh, come on, Big Style.
What do you
You're
think?
killing me, Big Style. He's sending me pictures of hairless cats.
No.
Yeah, like, what are you doing over there, Big Style? You're killing me, man. All right, guys, still holding a position here on my friend VYNE. I've been packing my patience for a flat top break on this one. We did get a momentary pop into $1.50. Sadly, these two orders were not active when we did get that pop. So the best fill I've had on the day is 46. We had a good amount of shares into this one. We've de-risked a little bit right now, but this one is putting umpteen amount of higher lows. So I'm still very optimistic we could get above that $1.50 area. We'll see how this one ends up doing. Poet, the other one that I've got on, and this is bull flagging to no end. So I think my order here at 490, if it gets filled, it'll be a liquidity grab. I'm waiting at 492 for that level. The reason I put it at 492 because I perceive this to be a bull flag. So we initially got the first bull flag there, consolidation. We break up again, bull flag number 2. You get the consolidation right here. And this is a more prolonged bull flag, a move up and a longer consolidation. As I've said many times before, you know, bull flags are not all created equal. They're all going to look a little bit different. Some will have longer poles, some will have wider or more lengthy consolidation periods, and I perceive this one to be a consolidation possibly right now on Poet. So, crux of the matter is, I'm going to add, if it dips back into 5, I'm going to add small amount of shares. At that level, we'll pick up some more because we basically don't have much left on Poet, but I still will leave this order active in a couple of reasons. One, I'm trying to get a liquidity grab into the low 90s. That's number one. Number two, it's still well above the volume weighted average price. VWAP is showing me 487, so having my order there in the low 90s makes sense to me. Okay, because it's not breaking my rules about trading this one or picking it up below the volume weighted average price. So that's my look on Poet. Quickly back here into VYNE. Back end of 145 it goes. So it looks like we've cleared 142 on a closing basis. And we had not done that since this candle over here. And that was quite transient because we dipped right back down to $1.40. So VYNE incrementally kind of making those higher highs. Let's see if we can get that $1.50 break and take. That is now what I'm currently looking at. If you guys see any new small cap gappers, guys, making their way onto the scene, please tag Joseph or I. I'm not seeing anything that really pleases me here on my my top scanner. You guys have been talking about triple N, quadruple N, excuse me, not triple N. Let me have a look at this one over. Yeah, this is doing nothing, man. I mean, this isn't for me. It's obviously got a big move on the day, or on the week. But let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. No, this ain't for me. People are, who said MO? Is that you, Remran? That's you? Okay. Chile Nightmare says MO. Let's have a look at MO. What do we got over here, Fabian? A? Okay, dividend stock. This is his favorite dividend stock. Oh, that's fair. No, it's all good. Not a bad look there. Oh, this is a really good one, actually. What the hell is this? Fantastic. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Who in the chat asked me that? So someone in the chat asked me, sorry, Edamar Cordero. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. What are the chances SPY closes green? I think there's a pretty good chance. Okay, there it goes. Oh, we're missing this, guys. What am I even doing? Wake up. Wake up. Is that even more Alexis on fire? What am I doing? Okay, now I'm starting to panic a little bit here. NVDA starting to approach that all-time high there, guys. We might have even constructed one here. Someone confirm with me, please, and thank you. NVDA now trading at 153.40, 35 now. So I think we did touch an all-time high there on this name. There we go, 52-week high on NVDA. Nice look there. Big-time move. We like seeing this. You see that volume most definitely step in. Guys, and I was talking about this last week. We've seen that concentration of open interest be lifted, and then now we had a path of resistance, and now we can start to free fall or roll freely towards that target. I think 154 may be in the works. Let's see if this volume is genuine. Yeah, I'm seeing it on multiple charts here now. We got that break. I think we're going to head for 154. Now you're starting to see that volume really step in here. That is most definitely an all-time high on NVDA now, Sharif, or relative within pennies of it. So a really good look. I'm glad that I spotted that one. It's unfortunate that Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon and Google are doing essentially nothing as, we can't call it that anymore, as Jensen himself continues to climb higher. I'm not going to call it that anymore because I agree with you on that other thing. But a nice look on that one, 3.8% on the day. What a beautiful move in NVDA. Sharif.
Beautiful, dude. It's beautiful. 52-week highs. Just got the notification there on NVDA. The market cap on this monster now, 3.7, almost $1.5 trillion. So this might overtake Apple. Apple was, I believe, in December 3.9 trillion. We were doing that 4 trillion watch.
No, it's ahead of Apple now.
No, way ahead of Apple. But I'm talking about at the highs. I think we had hit 3.95, 3.92 on Apple in December. So way ahead of Apple. Sells at 3 trillion now. I believe no, it's actually exactly at 3 trillion.
All-time high is Apple hit the 4 trillion, right? They hit the
again. We were doing the 4 trillion watch.
We were. You and I.
We were like 3.9 and change. So NVIDIA really having a fantastic day. Shout out to NVIDIA, man. I hope everybody has got a little piece of this in the long term, guys. All right, let's look at ULY. I've got a couple, VOR and ULY. You guys were telling me about that. ULY had a really good morning, popped up quite aggressively, but since that time, it's done nothing but put in lower lows and lower highs. This breaches two of my rules right off the bat. It's got a pre-market high at 650 a.m. at 1394, 13 mid-90s. It is trading below that. It's at 790. That's strike number one. Strike number two, it's trading below that white line, below the volume weighted average price. Got to get above $9. Otherwise, I'm not interested. So two things that it misses: below the pre-market high, below the volume weighted average price. VOR is the other ticker you guys are talking about there. Go ahead. Bro.
Yeah, TQs is really moving there. Sorry to interrupt you there, Sharif. And NVDA. So just covering some of these tech names here. We're continuing to climb. I've seen someone in the chat say 153.80 is the all-time high on NVDA. Fair enough. Let's see if we can get that. I mentioned that 154 can be in the works, and I think by the end of the week we're going to head into 155. And chances are by the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen in the post-market as well, too, guys, is that we can most definitely touch into those levels. We do have a call wall at 155, and that's what I was referring to. 1 minute, Adira. I know you're going to talk a little bit about this, but I just want to display something on the options chain here momentarily, which I think is really important. And you know what, guys? As a collective unit, we've been going over this option stuff, and I hope a lot of you have been taking advantage of it a little bit more than I have, but these numbers are really starting to come into play. And now that we've built such a beautiful sample set, I think it's really time to start hammering some of these, because what the options market is telling us can reflect a lot in what we're seeing from an intraday standpoint. But there it is, 97.4 thousand current open contracts at that 155 strike price. Watch out for that. Adara, what do you got for us?
Some news on Paramount, which made a nice push to the upside. Wall Street Journal reporting that a mediator has proposed a $20 million settlement in Trump's CBS lawsuit. The package would include a $17 million donation to the Trump Foundation and some legal fees. So keep an eye here on PARA. Again, apparently a $20 million lawsuit has been proposed, as reported by Wall Street Journal, with regards to that Trump CBS lawsuit. And back to you.
For that.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we're cooking in TQs here now. I'll pull it up here momentarily. So that's what we got going on. Let's see if we can get that move back towards the volume-weighted average price. You know how your boy does. We enter, we let the thesis work out, and then we just use unrealized to add more shares into the position.
I love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
And that's been your modus operandi, and I got to give you credit for that.
I appreciate that.
You execute excellent.
Yeah, I mean, when it works out, it looks really good.
Do it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
You can't get good at something unless you're consistently doing it. So you're consistently doing that. Shout out to Joey, man. All right, guys, VOR. This one is sub $1, so right off the bat, it displeases me. I don't like trading these sub $1 names. That doesn't mean I won't do it from time to time. It just happens to be a thicker trade with many different levels where you can post sell orders. In any event, on VOR at the moment, we've got a 4-candle lower low, lower high setup. Not lower low, but a lower high setup certainly on all 4 of these candles. Alas, we are still above the 10 EMA on the 5. We're also above that 50 penny area, which for a sub $1 name, I'll submit to you, is a technical area of psychological support and resistance. And in fact, this candle here actually rejects or defends, 50 pennies exactly. The low of this candle is 0.5003. Okay, still doesn't have a newer high. To get a newer high, basically has to take out 56 pennies. We'll see how this one does, man. Maybe I'll get involved, just get the reps in. But I never really make all that much off these. I don't have a lot of success with these small cap gappers south of $1. Hence why, I tend to stay away from them. But if it sets up above 56 pennies, I can certainly be persuaded to get back in, or to get in, So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set an alert for 56 pennies, and come what may, we'll see what this one wants to do. VYNE, now it's rejecting off 45s, but this pleases me because it's a higher low setup and higher highs. Whereas we were rejecting 44s before, now we're kind of rejecting 45s. So it's not the best trade in the world, but it's profitable on the day, 36 2/3%. Now, one name I barely mentioned, but it's been on the side chart almost the entire day, MODV. And this one kind of looked like it was going to give up the ghost, right? It popped up into $4, gives up $4. Well, guess what? Don't write things off unless there's a reason to write them off. And this one gave you a beautiful candle right into the volume weighted average price, and it's been putting in higher lows. Not necessarily higher highs at the moment. We're going to have to clear 397 for that higher high, but MODV could be one to keep an eye on into the afternoon. So I want to mention that to you guys as well. SAFX has worked its way back above the volume weighted average price, but I've seen this story before where we lose VWAP, get above it momentarily, only to lose it again and to make a lower low. Current candle low on this in this area is at $2.62 right at 1 o'clock. That candle bounced right off 260. So if we lose 260, that to me would be a new area low. Okay, so let's see what it does with 3. It's awfully close to $3. If it starts breaking out again, we can get involved. But SAFX, I lost money on the ad. Still positive, though, on the name. So that's what I'm looking at. Still involved in Poet. Haven't added, or did I? Did I get the ad in Poet? Let's find out, Joey. No, oh, bad word. Comes right into 5, doesn't cross. We don't get the ad, and now it's into 508. So don't be a schmuck like me. I made a mistake here. The mistake was putting the ad at the whole dollar level. I should have been front running it by a shekel or two. And so as a result of that, we don't get the ad. So that's my look right now on Poet. We'll keep tabs on this one, see what it's up to. I don't know anybody else. What are you guys looking at in the chat? Let me know what you guys are looking at. A lot of you guys have been talking about Circle. I see that name posted a lot, not one that I'd ever trade on the show, but we'll have a look at it for you guys right now. By the way, Adara.
Oh, hi. I forgot. I keep forgetting about button.
Are we able to see that top wick there you had on Circle?
We can do it, yeah.
We can do it? Are we doing it live?
We're doing it live.
All right, Assassino, can we show Adara's screen there? Because she had a hell of a short. Derek, just show everyone where it is.
Yeah, so this is where I entered, and that was on the 15-minute trend line. And then we took a little piece. This ended up being way too early, but it was, you know, obviously some previous supports. I got a little bit like this $10 in the money because I got in 226. That's around like $9, like 217. Then we didn't get stopped out here in 15-minute prior bar until like 207. A nice little look here for CRCL. Try it again, like flat. You know, it's all good. Right now it's choppy. I have no need for it, but that is the CRCL. And then we're going to circle back to the Bash Brothers. And thank you for giving me that little interlude.
The trade is
gonna give that a round of applause.
Yeah, the trade is amazing.
Yeah.
The trade's fantastic, but what I personally think is even better is the out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that second, the second attempt when she got out, I think that is exactly what you want to see. I mentioned we can put on nice trades and everything along those lines when things are appreciating, depreciating, whatever way you're going. But also to make your outs look good as well too is, I think, really important in trading.
Yeah, and one thing I got to say about Adara, nothing that she does is done haphazardly or willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Everything usually has a reason.
Calculated.
Yeah, and so excellent outs, Adara, excellent entry.
Yeah.
Fantastic look there. Got to shout you out when it's warranted.
Is there any news on Amazon?
AMZN? Have a look real quick. It's down, Amazon down a third. I'm not seeing anything really.
Oh, it's only down a third?
Yeah, it's only down a third. But did you see this?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Did you see this?
Will keep
this is very bad for Amazon. Look at these dark stores. Walmart's opening dark stores, and these are obviously pilots, right?
What is
to
a
enhance
dark
its
store?
Delivery and e-commerce capabilities, competing with Amazon. So essentially, they're going to be distribution centers, like Amazon has.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've been saying this to my buddies, like when we talk, like I told you that hedge fund guy. I've been telling him, like, Walmart already has all the distribution centers they need in their retail stores. If they were to revamp those retail stores,
e-commerce.
yes, because think about the advantage Amazon has.
Yeah.
What's the advantage is that they've got all these distribution centers. They can have your stuff same day, next day,
just like that.
right?
Yeah.
They stock it. They got the. So why can't Walmart do that using their retail stores? And this is what they're doing.
Absolutely, and we've seen an increase in their e-commerce activity.
Every single quarter, bro.
Every quarter they're starting to amp that up.
So I just want to read this whole thing for everybody who's interested in this. So Walmart is opening dark stores in Dallas and Bentonville to enhance its delivery and e-commerce capabilities, competing with Amazon. These facilities, closed to the public, function as large warehouses stocking popular items to expedite delivery. Walmart aims to achieve profitability in its online segment this year after significant investments. While Amazon's revenue surpassed Walmart's in recent quarters, Walmart maintained its lead in fiscal year 2024 with $681 billion in revenue compared to Amazon's $638 billion. Obviously, these are not high margin businesses. This is retail, and let me tell you, retail margins, not great. But in any event, I think this is obviously not good for Walmart.
For Amazon.
For Amazon.
Yeah, no, I get it. Again, never mind the e-commerce side of things. We got AWS, we got Zoox. They're working in the medical field as well too now. So yeah, again, if they take Amazon's so convenient, and I understand that people love Walmart, but just using the app and everything along those lines is so easy and accessible. I think Walmart would definitely need to step up their game on that front. But yeah, I wouldn't be too worried if I'm Amazon. Is it going to steal market share? Probably, absolutely. It's Walmart, right?
Sure.
But I think Amazon's got so much going for it. Otherwise,
there's no question. Walmart doesn't have an AWS.
No, they don't have
question. But that doesn't mean that they can't pose a threat.
That's what I'm saying. Take market share for sure. But I guess people are just so used to it, and unless you come out with something that's more user-friendly, like I don't know if there's a Walmart app where you can just go on it and just select whatever you want, but just buying things off of Amazon is so easy. Like Tina Man was buying sticky notes off of Amazon.
For sure.
I
think a lot of it too is like the habit that people get into.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to get into the habit to go into the Walmart app, to use it the same way that you would use, obviously.
What is up with Apple? This thing sucks, dude.
It's 200.
Yeah,
It's tanking right now.
Yeah, it's really tanking, dragging the market down with
Walmart has been beating Amazon to the punch in more rural areas, same day and at home delivery on any store items for a while now.
Fair.
Thank you, Big Spalk. I don't think we have same day delivery in Canada, but we do have next day delivery in Walmart, and I've been seeing them a lot more lately. And I've been saying this to my friends for years, man, going back to the pandemic when everybody and their mother was buying everything online. I'm like, Walmart has the infrastructure already there. It's about revamping the stores. You drop the actual retail footprint a little bit, maybe by a third, whatever it is, and then you basically look to retrofit a third of the store or whatever it's going to be, guys, whatever size they decide, to be basically your warehouse for local delivery. And they have a store almost in every location in Southern Ontario. Like, you can't drive, you can't drive east, west, or north and not run into a Walmart 2, 3, 4 hours outside of Toronto. So they've got them everywhere.
Absolutely.
Right? They've got them in spades.
Yeah.
So I've always thought that was a good idea, whether or not it makes financial sense for them.
Our guy Mike P. DeRider, sorry we missed this one there. Trader TV #1. That's all I got. Bang. That's all we need from you, brother. Much appreciated. Your kind words, as always, are they go much farther than that ever could. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Mike P. DeRider, as always.
Ronaldo's staying in Saudi.
He's signing another couple of years.
Deal. He's going to sign a 1 or 2 year deal.
There you go.
No word on the pay.
Okay, all-time high NVDA, Katina, man. Just so you know, you were in it. You still. I know. That's why I thought I'd mention it to you. But there we go, guys. Some of the big names really starting to pull in here. Microsoft, Apple, raining on the parade, starting to drag things down. There must be something coming out here. Well, maybe not. I guess it's just technical. Yeah, it's just technical PA, but it's not a good look here in Apple, guys. Now south of 201, trading at 282, dragging the Qs down with it. I was holding on. I didn't take any off around that 78.40 level. So let's see if this base can hold, right? Amazon seems to have cooled off. We do see some stopping volume displayed on that front, but with the likes of Microsoft and Apple starting to pull back aggressively, not a good look for the long in the Qs. I mentioned this time and time again, when you're trading the Nasdaq, or when you're trading, the Nasdaq, that is, the TQs, you have to take a look at what the big boys are doing. If you're not watching or monitoring them and you're scratching your head saying, why isn't this happening? Why isn't X happening? Then sure enough, you'll find your answers displayed in some of these mega cap tech names. And there you go. Now that we were drastically extended on NVDA, the downward momentum is starting to step in. Not a good look on the TQs. We might have to exit this trade here momentarily, especially if the low of the day is broken there. So yeah, keep an eye out on that stuff if this momentum, and I mentioned this before, I had that strong feeling, that gut feeling, I've seen it a couple of times before. You make that new all-time highs, people start profit taking, and then sure enough, you get that downward movement in the overall market, all right? So let's see if that can be sustained. I mean, if we take a look and just be totally honest with what's going on NVDA and on the Nasdaq, this is so unhealthy in my opinion, but you got to take it for what it is. There's no pullbacks here. It's just a straight move up. So just be cautious when you are. Don't punch these highs. I beg of you. Don't feel FOMO. You're going to get a better price at some point. It will come back. You just have to be patient enough. But this is just a straight line up. And just be cautious because you can get a drastic move down and then send the market into a little bit of some bearish territory. But I'm not going to claim bear market because we have been in a bull market. Let's see from off of these lows, as soon as we're up 20%, let's see where that 20% is. All right, roughly right around there, April 30th. And there we go. Now we are approximately 76% on NVDA off of the Liberation Day lows. Big time moves. Exactly.
It's crazy.
This is actually insane. It's great stuff. But yeah,
moves like a small cap.
Yeah. It's just straight up there. So it's again, just be cautious. I do think that there's going to be somewhat of a pullback at some point. We always experience in the market. If we get too overbought, then there'll be some headlines that come out that it would say, all right, that's enough. We've climbed high enough. We're 76% off of the lows. If you had the ability to grab it up there, and then boom, that will be that there, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. You adding to any of
not up here? Not up here. No.
Not NVIDIA. Oh. I don't mean NVIDIA because I know you would not at this level. But are you adding to any of your larger positions? You had that Google swing that you
got the
got
Google,
into.
Yeah, I got the Google swing. I don't think I'll be adding into this here just because of where we're currently sitting. I mean, it is lagging. It could play catch up. I'm happy with my sizing there. You guys all seen that. I won't be adding to Robinhood, nor will I be adding to NVDA all the way up here. I'll be patient and wait for. But to be honest with you, I don't have that much cash. I put an order out for some more IBIT, and it actually ended up getting filled in my long-term account. So I don't have too much. Yeah. So I don't. I totally forgot about it. I went in, looked at my cash. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting on a little bit of cash, and then I looked. And I'm like, okay, never mind, I'm not. And then I look at my my positioning there on IBIT, and it's substantially bigger. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, there you go.
Yeah, well, it's your IBIT position.
Yeah.
Prohibitively large.
Yeah, it's significantly larger now, yeah.
We've said very little, I feel, about some of these Chinese ADRs lately. And, you know, your friend Alibaba, if I can show the chart, is getting close to that 200. And, Joseph, it's been insanely respectful of the 200. Have a look. You get a clear 200 defend here. You get another clear 200 defend on Liberation Day. And now we're weaseling in with lower highs, getting close to that 110, 107 area where the 200 is. So Alibaba, interesting possible pickup here. No recommendations. Obviously, this is PDD. PDD looks like hot garbage ever since, obviously, the de minimis rule got shut down by yours truly. The one and only DJT. Obviously, they own Temu, and Temu has been experiencing drastic declines in orders coming from the United States. This is JD. JD looks very flat bottom breakish. I'm just going to go through some of these ADRs. This is Li Auto. Li Auto very consolidative here. Doesn't look to be doing like anything. XPEV was the one we were talking about. This looks like a better chart. So XPEV had that big move up into 27. It's below 20. It's got some lower, higher lows, but also a bit of a flat top, maybe around 21. So XPeng could be an interesting one here. It's not as ugly as some of the other charts. In fact, I think this is the best looking one I've looked at so far. How's NEO doing? NEO is absolute trash. And I've been saying this about this company for a long time. They didn't focus on the SUVs early enough, and I don't know about the battery replacement technology. Nothing like Li Auto, nothing like XPEV. How's your friend Zeekr doing? Zeekr's in a range. Zeekr's not too bad, obviously owned by Geely. Geely is an absolute heavyweight. If you know anything about these car companies, Geely's big. So Zeekr, yeah, not bad, but not the greatest. This is BYD. This is the king of them all right? We know what BYD is. We don't get them in North America for obvious reasons because they bankrupt Ford, GM, and Stellantis. But the fact of the matter is BYD's off the highs. And we lost $100 not that long ago. During Liberation Day, we were back below 100 momentarily, 95, and now we're back at 100. This is the daily on BYD. And since, let's just take a random thing, January 2024 to the highs on BYD, it's up 175%. So it's a great company. Whatever the headwinds are, they have a global market. They're not focused on North America, quite frankly. Let's look at some other names here that we know in China. How's KWeb doing? KWeb consolidated. This is the China ETF here.
Yeah, Internet ETF.
Internet ETF, thanks, Joseph. And FXI, another one. FXI looks a lot better than KWeb. This is KWeb here. This is FXI. So some, a lot closer to the highs there, around 39 bucks. Interesting look here because we haven't said much about China at all lately. Feels like it hasn't been the China trade as of late. All right, guys, we take a bunch of prints here again on VYNE as this one clears that $0.50. The Katina Man's printing up a store over there as well. Are you long the TQs?
Yeah.
Short the TQs. The Katina Man is short the TQs at the moment, and he's printed up multiple storms as the market loses 22,400 momentarily. Katina Man trying to zig and zag. So keep your eye out on the chat. The Katina Man's constantly posting his levels there. So if you're interested in what the Katina Man's trading, and a lot of you are, make sure you are keeping your eye on said chat. So I wet the beak there at 47s. and 48s. Now I'm set up at 50s. It's showing me 50, so maybe we can get the print close to that level. 50 pennies, VYNE. It's doing well. How's my friend Poet? Boom on Poet. We take into the high of the day. 515. Shout out to my main man Poet over here. But displeased with how I executed. I made that very clear. I put my order at 5 instead of 501, so I did not get the DCA. I am mad about that. Uh-oh.
Money.
Shout out to Pug Life, double sevens, $50 super chat. The dude's dropping absolute cash in the chat. Just sharing some profits from my NVIDIA. June 11th, 145 calls. You see how I knew that was up?
Yeah.
You're here, man.
There you go.
100% profit banger. That's insane, Pug Life. That hit on today's recent high with the show. You always keep it entertaining. Thank you very much, Pug Life. Very nice words. Very happy for your trade, brother. Hope you're printing up multiple storms, and I know you are. We're going to send it to Adair in 1 second after we have a look at my friend VYNE taking out the top again into $1.55. We got the high of the day. VYNE looking real good here, Dara. 45%. What do you got?
Sharif, and thank you for that super chat to Pug Life, I guess. Here's JPM. Keep an eye on these big banks. The U.S. Federal Reserve currently just proposed changes to ease the enhanced supplementary leverage ratio for large banks. As I mentioned, Jerome Powell had to leave a little bit early at the Senate Banking Committee hearing today. That's because he had to, I guess, vote or work on this Fed proposal. Now, apparently, they have proposed some changes to ease enhanced supplementary leverage ratios for these larger banks. Back to the guys.
VYNE's breaking out here, Joseph. $1.59. This thing is really going. I got one out left on this. I'm just going to pack my patience on this one. Let's see how high we can get. It's a $1.59 high. I've literally been in this trade since the show started. Okay, I got in my first position here. That was 11:30. Okay, so I lied. Half an hour after the show started. So VYNE has been a fantastic one. Keep your eye out on it. It's not the biggest volume mover on the day. It's $1.50, and it's only done, Joseph, 5 2/3 million shares. But that doesn't show the full picture. The technical pattern is quite good on this one. Keep going, Mr. Poet. Let's go. We got more outs here on the poeted one. We're going to set up at 519s above that 520 area. Let's see if Poet can take out 20%. And by extension of that, my order at 519, Joseph Wilson.
Yeah, good luck there, brother. Yeah, so I hopped out of the TQs trade on that volume spike to the downside. I know Katina Man was short there, so I just decided to hop out once it broke through that key support level. So yeah, but I mean, now we're starting to see some VPA prints on the likes of Microsoft, and you can see this big move to the downside, and then now we're starting to get that print right here. So a good look for Microsoft, potential bounce, a nice healthy hammer, and the volume starting to pick up as well too. So that could be possibly supporting volume, and then stopping volume, sorry. And then when I mentioned seeing things across the board, and we're seeing it on the likes of the Qs as well here too. So keep an eye out on that one. So if this closes as a hammer, maybe now after it did that liquidity grab, you can get that move back towards the volume weighted average price. But NVDA holding up relatively strong there, guys. Trading at 153.46 and just holding those levels relatively well. So that's a good look there on Microsoft. Tesla not doing so good anymore. It's still still exhausted from all that selling this morning. So you got about an hour of, or about 40 minutes or so of solid selling, and then sure enough, it's just cooled off. You get that VWAP test, and then now you just head back in towards some of these key support levels. That's going to be right at 324.72. And yeah, that's what it is. Maybe you're not going to get that second leg down that you're looking for, but there's still about a couple hours left in the day. So you never know what can happen. Tesla, and then let's go through another name here. Apple, did things start to cool off there? You see we broke through some key support levels right at 201.29. Boom, and then now we're heading back towards those, or I guess this support level low. Q's bouncing back nicely here as well too. So you get that nice liquidity grab, gets you, and then sure enough, you get that bounce right after. So yeah, there it is on that one. Let's go over some of the top volume names this morning actually, to see what we got going on that front. Wow, NVDA's put in 178 million shares on the day. Tesla with 87.3. And then what else do we got? Soxel with 78, SMCI with 58 million shares. And then HIMS, what's HIMS up to? Did it get a rebound here today? Oh, no, not really. And on the daily, it doesn't look too good either. Let's pull up HIMS here, guys. I mean, this is a 30% down day, even maybe a little bit more. Boom, you get that gap down, and then at the lows, it was probably, I think it was like around 33% or something along those lines. And then sure enough, you're still having selling pressure displayed on the daily candles. So if it breaks that support level, watch out. There can definitely be some more downside, considering the market was pricing in that deal. And then sure enough, it is now gone. So
Joseph, I gotta cover this.
Cover it up.
Shout out to the OG Bovin, always bringing me the good trades when I don't see them myself. Shout out to Bovin, ADTX. A good mover here, Bovin, and this one didn't really trade right at the open, started getting the volume at around 10 a.m. and then did bupkis after that 10:30 pop into the high of the day. But here it is again, and it's zoom into the high side, $1.95. Seconds ago, we were just at $1.70, so the volume is coming in. Likewise with the price action, ADTX up 43%. Here are the details you need to know on our friend ADTX. It is a 2.12 million share float, of which 2.14% is board for short, so it's not saying much. It's printing another high day, 198.2. This thing is zooming up, guys. Be careful. The micro pullbacks are where you want to get in on this big move up, but try as like I can, or like I try, to be able to identify these micro pullbacks. It's going to be a nice little challenge there for those who want to learn. 201 the high. Let's load this up on the side chart right now. Not much time left on the show, about 13 minutes or so. ADTX taking out levels. It's a 207 high. Shout out to you, Bovin. Great call out, my man. This thing is up over 50% now. Does it hold too? That's the question. Did we get sufficiently past $2 for 2 to act as a good level of support? Well, you can punch in here, give it to $1.95, maybe $1, whatever, low 90s, and you lose 8 pennies if it turns against you. Or you can back your patience and see exactly where the technical levels come in on the level 2 in the time and sales. Buyer at 197, so he's preventing that from continuing to descend. Decent size there on MyX at 75 or so. 65 lots, give or take. So let's keep that same buyer they're at 197. Okay, we're going long over here. We're going to give this to 192. If it breaks 192, we're gone. Okay, so that's the look right now on my friend ADTX. Let's go ahead and throw that in there, and we'll throw in another order over here. We'll see if we can get printed at around there, and we'll throw multiple orders possibly into the high side on ADTX. Seller at 2s. We can't shake the seller at 2s, so let's keep an eye out on this one. Anything below that $1.92, we're going to be gone on this one. Let's give this one a try. You know, it's always a bit concerning punching in at the high of the day, but people are seeing this in the same way that I am. There we go, first print there. Can we get the next print at 5s? Waiting at 5s there. Let's see if we can cross 5s. There it is. We take the print at 5s. Now we're waiting at 9s, showing me 6s. Possibly 7s momentarily there. Nope, we sell off back into 4s. So we're going to keep an eye here on ADTX. Anything below 92s, Joseph, we're gone.
Nice, nice. All right. Good game plan there, brother. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's take a look at the overall market here and see what some of these major moving averages are doing and who is leading the way. And of course, that is going to be the tech sector. Surprisingly, the Russell is outpacing the Dow up here a little bit more than what we see. So in the past month, we got about 3.8% return here in the Nasdaq, 2.5% in the S&P, and then Russell up about 2 1/3 there. And then the Dow Jones still positive, up about 1 1/4. So yeah, some good looks. So now we only have one green sector here today, and I think that's being led by the likes of NVDA. We also had that gap up in the morning as well too, so that added us a little bit of a cushion on that front, but only up about 0.6 there. And then the rest of the sectors, it is all blood red there. So lots of red going on in the overall market there, guys. So yeah, let's see what else is going on. If there's anything that you specifically want to go over, then feel free to do so. We can do some options chain stuff, put it in the chat. Okay, yeah, actually, let's do this. It's very interesting. So I was watching some stuff on Nike. We got Nike tomorrow after the bell. Let's take a look at its expected move. So we'll pull up Nike, and then also there's some key points that we'll pull up the options chain and just try to correlate something with what I've heard from an analyst. All right, so I'll pull up exactly what they said. They set up an option strategy. They were selling extra. I think it was like they were buying 55 puts and selling the 57 puts, which is extremely interesting. But let's pull up Nike and see what we got going on. So By the end of the week, okay, so this is what we're looking at, about a 7.3% expected move here on Nike here, guys, with that report coming tomorrow after the bell. 7.3, so that could put us at a high of around 65 or a low of around 56. So very interesting about what his strategy is. Now let's find out where we're currently trading at. We're going to pull up the options chain momentarily, but let's pull up the underlying asset first and see where we're, okay, so he's buying out the monies and then selling some premium on the 57s. Very interesting. I don't quite understand that strategy. For those who are more advanced in the options world, why would you do that? So he bought, I'm going to pull it up just so I'm getting my facts straight here. So I'm going to, give me a bear with me here, Sharif, because this might take a couple of seconds.
Take your time.
But yeah, exactly. So there it is. I got my notes. Let's pull them up here. So Nike, expected moving roughly about 8%. So we got the 7.3 there by the end of the week, greater than 9%. So that could be to either direction. Interesting options activity from larger dated bearish, buying 55 puts on October 17th for $3.55. But then he sells the June 27 puts. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, that makes significantly more sense. Okay, I get what he's doing now. I thought he was selling the 57 calls. So no, he sold the 57 puts for $1.61 expiring June 27th. All right, so very interesting. That makes significantly more sense. Now, what we want to focus on is the put side. So that's going to be that 55 strike and that 57 strike. And let's just see what we got going on from an open interest. Is this guy a shark or is he not a shark?
Ooh.
Yeah, is he a big boy or is he not? We're gonna take a look right now. And we're going to go to his expiration cycles. Let me pull that up here as well, just so we can get that all correct. And then we're going to take a look at the open interest. That is going to be the October 17th expiration cycle. So there it is, October 17th, 55. All right, so, I mean, 5,000, relatively larger than what we're seeing across the board here on the put side. So there he goes. He has some size, but then he's also selling the 57 puts on July 27th. Very interesting stuff. Getting an inside look at what some of these analysts are doing with the options. So there it goes. He's selling these right now, he collected $1.61. Those are now only worth a 99 cents, so about $1 there, all right? So there you go. A nice return, about 60% of the total premium he could be able to collect. He's achieved that goal there. But let's take a look. We'll take a step back here momentarily. Yeah, go ahead.
SBET is breaking out, guys. So this is another one that we know very well in small cap gap world. It's going to take out $12. It's been on the warpath here, and it's been respecting the 10 EMA on the 5, and the volume is just coming in. It's a 130 pop. Otherwise, the biggest volume candle was right at 930, right at the open. The second largest volume candle came in at 130, and then you saw all hell broke loose there with the volume, with basically 1.25 million shares per 5-minute candle. It's got a $12 high, but be careful with this one because I'm going to show you the 1 hour, and I'm going to do it on purpose because this thing is coming from heights, baby. This thing was up at $125, and now it's back down into 12. So be careful, and the reason is not just because of the volatility, but because there's going to be a lot of bag holders waiting here to get the hell out for every time it pops. You know, they tighten up their losses a little bit, so be careful. SBET breaking out. Sorry to interrupt you.
No worries, not at all. Big breakout, we got to cover that stuff. So 57, I am on the right expiration cycle. Yeah, exactly, Pug Life. That's what the objective is, right? So he's selling those puts to collect that elevated premium. It seems to be the case. At the money, IV 134.4%. Sold them for $1.61. Those are now worth only $1. So that is not a bad look on that one. And they might expire worthless. But again, be cautious on heading into an earnings report. Anything can happen. We have no idea what our Nike's inventory is going to look like. Adara, what do you got for us?
I don't have any news here on SPET. This is from yesterday morning. The company announced they acquired just over 12,000 Ethereum for $30.7 million here. Sharplanger SPET started running after announcing that Ethereum Treasury. They're one of many small caps to, I guess, announce crypto-related strategies, the most recent of which is actually Mullen, M-U-L-N. As of this morning, SPET, very small float, about 664,000 shares. I couldn't find any news to explain this pop, but I looked on X. A lot of people were predicting this breakout due to the pattern, so it looks like a technical break. And as you can often get with these small cap runners with small floats, there are a lot of people on X that are very, very excited about the stock. Back to you.
Yeah, that's all I had there, Sharif. So the puts that he sold at 57, those were worth $1.61 when he first wrote those options, and now they're only worth $1. So let's see what happens come tomorrow evening.
All right, guys, ADTX, I'm happy with how I did on this one, but it did breach the prior bar low. So that's why I had to get out. So even though it's working its way back above 2, the candle, the topping tail candle on the 5-minute that closed at 150 did breach, or sorry, this current candle that we're on did breach the prior candle, so I had to get out of there. But it's trying to work its way above 2. It's well above the 10, well above VWAP, also above momentarily for now anyway, above that $2 psychological area of support or resistance, depending on when you're coming from the north or south side. So keep your eye here on ADTX. This one's not giving up the ghost quite yet. It looks like it wants to take out highs. Here comes that 210. It's a 214 high a day. Sadly, when this popped, I didn't have any orders waiting at 215. Otherwise, we would have had some better outs on it. So here comes that 210 level again. ADTX looking a lot better than SBET at the moment, but very similar patterns on SBET and ADTX. Case in point, they're both coming in midday. They both started popping off 130, 145. So they're both newer trades. Let's see if we can get up above 215. If we take out that 215 high a day right now on ADTX, I might weasel back in, 3 minutes or not left on the show. So ADTX on one right now. Keep your eye on this one, but be careful trading it because we know how these ones always act. Just to give you more information on SBET, SBET, look, it really depends on, oh my God. So this one is telling me 600 some odd thousand share float. What does my platform say? My platform says, yeah, they both say the same thing, 616,000 shares. So SBET, super small float, likely why it is squeezing in this way because it doesn't have a high short float, about 3.25%, a little bit less than 3.25%. ADTX, I'm showing you though on the screen. Triple top, almost at that same area. 2 high tens, 2 low teens, so to speak. We'll see if it can clear that 215 area. It's got a good look on it right now, holding above $2, but not exactly rocketing up. The last trade we have here, Joseph, Poet. I'm going to flatten this one out for the last remaining amount there as the show winds down, so I don't want to be nursing this one. So what I want to leave you guys with, the best looking bunch right now, SBET and ADTX, at least in small cap gap world. Obviously, that's what I mean. But be careful with both because they're both kind of former convicts. ADTX is certainly a former convict. I know this one very well. I've seen the ticker many times. Shout out to TX Trader. I saw you in the chat saying, this thing is going to drop aggressively. We'll see. It's holding up right now. But, if you're going to hold it for a long time, then maybe you feel that way. But you're not supposed to hold these for a long time. So.
Yeah.
Minute left on the show. Leave them or 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, we'll talk something. I found an interesting quote. I really liked it the other day. I'll say it here momentarily just before we sign off. But yeah, I hope everyone's had a good day. Very interesting stuff. Fun watching NVDA tap into that 52-week high. We did tap into 54, so I do believe that's an all-time high. That's fantastic for this name. And then with that being said, hopefully we can continue and move on this trajectory. Just be cautious for a pullback. I mean, 70% off those Liberation Day lows. Very, very, very big time move in a span of a couple of months there, Sharif. So,
all right, bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hold on. We're going to send them off. Here it is. I like this one here. Imagine reading a book with no way to turn back the page. How carefully would you read it?
Oh, that's excellent. So you're going to compare that to life.
That's life.
I knew it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
that was a very good one. I like that one.
Absolutely, bro.
There you go.
Absolutely. It's one of those ones where you got to remind yourself all the time about that. Like until you internalize it fully. Yeah. But I love that.
Yeah,
I love that saying. I love all that. All right, guys, 2 o'clock. Over there, to my right, 2 guys named Neil and Sean. You may know them as the Big Kahunas. At least that's what I refer them to. We're sending you to them. I'll see everybody shortly at the green screen.
Thank you. Thank you there, Sharif. Just make sure that I'm not muted. Welcome, everybody.
Like you were this morning.
Actually wasn't.
I thought you clicked it.
No, it wasn't this morning. This morning it was actually legit. I always thumb. If someone tells me, I'll thumb over to make sure. But it didn't click. Wait, look. We had a lot of issues this morning, and I got to give a big shout out. Got to give a big shout out to the entire team. Like, if you were, it wasn't just our team. Here on the show, was back office as well, sort of running around fixing all these issues with a big power outage that happened locally here. It was like a few blocks or transformers. So, but we're here, we're back. It's a tale of, like, I hate saying a tale of